And welcome to the Mazu.
Hey,
that's way better, right?
Yep. An official beginning.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. I'm going to start my spiel over again.
Respiel.
Respiel the spiel. Thanks for being here. It's been 3 months. We've missed you. Glad that everybody's back. But we've got more adventures with the USS Mazu, and we don't know where they're going yet. Or do we? We'll find out. A couple of things. Number one, thanks for being here. We really appreciate you being here. That's kind of awesome. And take a second to tell your friends, because it's way more fun to watch this when you have a lot of friends you can chat with. So just take a second while I'm talking and just go on your social media site or call them, text them. Don't call them, because who answers a phone? Text them and say, hey, watch this thing. Nobody answers their phones, right?
I do.
I think if it's a number I know.
Well, no, yeah, if I know
Only
that.
If it's a number, I'll think about it at least.
Screen it.
And I'll usually answer.
It's not a number I know.
No, definitely not.
They can leave a voicemail.
Qui-Gon, I should do that spiel. Anyways, take a second. I'm assuming by now you've already gone that social route and told your friends. So thank you for that. Appreciate that. If you really like the stream and you want to support us and not have lights fall on people's heads, you missed that. That was part of the original spiel. But I'm not going to redo it. There are a lot of ways you can support. Number one, the fact you're here is awesome. If you look in the doobly-doo down in the description, there should be links so that you can say, hey, here's $1 for your time or something. That would be great as well. If you really like it, you can be a patron on Patreon. If you go to patreon.com/Heroes of Awesome. If you really want to help us out, that's a great way to do it. You can also sub on Twitch. You can shoot out things on YouTube, on Facebook. Well, don't follow me on Facebook because that's my personal stream right now, so don't do that. But on
shoot
Twitch,
out things on YouTube.
Mixer. There's sparks and stuff on mixers. There's all the things. So do all that stuff. And I think that's like, don't forget also, you go to heroesofawesome.com and there's stuff there. We've made a bunch of coasters for our D&D streams. If you really like this stream, I still have some of those fancy Anomalies Now t-shirts that are available over there. So
you said Anomalies
I did say Anomalies Now.
Anomalies Now!
We just start
What an anomaly.
Now!
That happened now.
Now we need a shirt.
That's right.
It's like a space apocalypse now.
Yes.
Parody.
Anomalies now.
New shirt coming.
New shirt coming.
The season 2 shirt. Anomalies Now.
Maybe not. We'll see. Anyways, go to heroesofawesome.com. Do the thing. Also, before I forget about it, all these threat tokens and momentum tokens we have were given to us by Strategic Dino. If you really like them, and you should, because they're kind of awesome. If you go to heroesofawesome.com and sign up for our mailing list, you don't miss any of this stuff. You'll get a little coupon code for 10% off any of this stuff. So do the thing. Do that, and you can get it for D&D, for Star Trek, for a lot of the games you got. So go to Strategic Dino, go to heroesofawesome.com. Do all of this stuff that makes you happy in the world. That's the theme of the show. Let's see. Let's do some introductions, because I probably should say that. Hi, in case you didn't know, my name is Mark. I'm the DM, or the GM, or is it a GM or DM for this? GM.
Yeah. There's no dungeons here.
There's no real dungeons.
I mean, there could be. We have a holodeck now.
That's true. That's right. We know what Kate's program is.
It could be the universe master.
Oh, UM. Over here to my left and at the top of your screen, we've got Barrett, Cindy, and Heath. And over here to my right at the bottom of the screen, we've got Lauren, Kate, and Jordan. And there's me. We are on the Mazu. Anomalies Now, says Xander. Yes. Dang it, I'm not hear that.
Available now.
Available now.
Get your anomalies today.
But there's a lot going on. We have all. Did I see somebody say Dungeons and Daggers?
That's still Xander the adequate.
All right, let's get this thing started. We have things to have happen, because it's been a while since we last left the crew of the Mazu, so let's find out how things are going over there. And let's start off with seeing what the captain has to think about things.
Captain's log. I still find it hard to process all that occurred despite the time that has passed. I close my eyes and see myself running as the moon's surface underneath me shudders. Then, observing that same moon's mass converted to energy from the bridge, destroying the Borg vessel just moments before the Borg would have done the same to the Mazu. The crew was tested beyond all expectations. We all should have joined our fellow crewmates who perished. Their lives were given so that the rest could survive. Understanding sacrifice is necessary for command. Now, we have an expanded crew, the blessings of Starfleet, a new mission, and a new Mazu. At times I fear the terrible responsibility of such a powerful beast, this Fenrir that leaps and frosts, while other times I'm overcome with the desire to let the wolf fly free and take us Verdville. Enough rumination. The mission awaits. The Founders. Do not expect to find them. They must be long dead, but their progeny extends across the known universe. There must be an origin, and at it, answers to the grand unifying theory of galactic consciousness. I just came up with that. Captain out.
And at this point, the Mazu is at the end of its shakedown cruise. Taking the crew down for protection. That's pretty much what's happening right now. Give me my money.
It would be a shame if something happened to your quarters.
It's a nice ship you got here.
Sion has changed so much since he was here.
That's actually the premise of one of the episodes of Star Trek Next Generation. The gangsters try and
Oh yeah.
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 Open that door and allow me onto your starship.
Yeah, it's one of the Dixon Hill.
I don't remember that
It's
episode.
season 1, and it's,
Yeah.
But don't forget too, it's on DS9 too. There's a love of gangsters because there's the whole Vince.
yeah.
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 Oh,
So.
yeah.
On the
And
Oh
the
yeah.
hollow.
Oh yeah. There's like a heist on the DS9 one. There's a whole heist. So
Okay,
anyway.
let's talk about Constellation.
Sorry.
So the Mazu is finishing its shakedown cruise en route to DS9. You're closing in on DS9 pretty quickly. You're not there yet. On board the Mazu right now for the shakedown, you've got Captain Newman. You've got Commander Zotiat. You've got...
Did that happen?
Didn't you get a promotion last time? No,
Nope.
you didn't. You got the medal, but you didn't get the promotion. Lieutenant Commander Zodiac. You've got Lieutenant still JG Tashek. Commander Morgan.
Bam.
She got a promotion.
Oh,
Did you not remember you got a promotion? You totally got a
You
promotion.
did.
cool. Yes.
Cool, yes, I remember that. Captain, what's the plan right now?
Oh.
I see
Wait,
it.
didn't I get a promotion to Super Captain?
You're Super Captain.
Super Captain.
Super Captain Newman.
So, I'm sorry, how
Uber
far,
Captain.
how far out are we?
I mean, you're pretty close. I mean, you've got enough time to do anything if you want to have any conversations or anything before you arrive. You don't have to.
I can't think of anything that I needed to talk about. I'm
Okay.
sure a bunch of stuff happened off camera over the past month or so.
I'm sure there is.
That
Yeah.
was about 2 months, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Month on Earth, month flying around.
I'm sure there is. All right. Well,
I'll just hail DS9 when we get close.
okay. You are getting close enough, and you do get a hail coming through.
Okay.
Did that not? Did you guys not hear that? You only
there
heard
it
us
is.
a little bit.
Yeah. I heard the big boom
Should be on.
on
One more
screen. There we go.
I just like doing it myself.
It's voice only.
Okay.
Mazu, this is DS9 Actual. Read you on approach. We've been expecting you. You are cleared for docking on Pylon 2.
Thank you, DS9. We'll be aboard shortly.
Fabulous. I've gotten word from Admiral Davis. He'll rendezvous with you, but his ship has not arrived yet, so we'll have some time on DS9. We'll notify you as soon as he's arrived.
We're looking forward to it.
All right. Welcome to DS9. Mazu glides in to Pylon 2, docking pretty easily. Nelson pilots that ship just like butter. Don't get me wrong. Tashek, you're there. But you've been working with Nelson.
Supervising.
Yeah. You've been working with Nelson all this. So piloted in there, and you are now docked at DS9, Pylon 2. There's a lot to get done. There's a lot of resupply that's happening with the Mazu. An excessive amount of resupply. As soon as you dock, people start work on resupplying the ship. So that's happening. There is some work that needs to be finished up as far as the ship in general. On the shakedown cruise, things shook loose. So
Izzy
What
has a
happened? Yeah.
list.
Yeah, that's
I'm
It's
sure
a
Izzy,
long list.
a long list of things.
Izzy probably hasn't slept a whole lot. And the new engineering office looks a little distant already.
Wow. Izzy's working hard on this ship.
It's been a long time since Izzy's had a new ship to work with.
And this is a brand new ship.
This is a brand new ship.
This is like
New ship's
first off the
She is-
line.
Yeah.
She does not trust these ships. She has worked on old ships for a very long time.
Air freshener hanging above the screen.
All right.
She knows better. She knows how ships get made.
All right. Well, Captain, you're at DS9. Everything is happening. What's your first plan?
It all kind of depends on. Well, we have a duty roster. Anyone who's not on duty has the option, obviously, to go on DS9.
Sure.
Sure. We do need to keep the crew on board, and anyone who has official business should take care of that. which would be you. If there was anything else that came of the shakedown that needs.
I mean, there are a few things here and there. I mean, obviously engineering is going to be the biggest thing. The whole shakedown cruise is make sure the ship works. So it's mostly going to be engineering work.
Great.
I've been making a point of making sure that my crew gets rotated a healthy amount, but I basically haven't left
You don't.
engineering.
I'll also hand over the bridge.
Okay, who's in command right now?
There's a list of names. We got a list of names.
There's a list of names.
Where's that list of names?
Bob Bridgman.
That's totally the one.
Oh, wow.
The closest one that would be in command would probably be Nelson.
That's what I was about to say. Okay, so we'll put Nelson in charge, and I'll take Morganth and Stian.
Steon's on DS9. Steon's
Oh, you're right. I'll take Morganth with me.
Okay.
Just partly for safety, partly because we're the two big dogs.
All right. Nelson takes command. She takes her place as you all leave the bridge. Check. What are you going to be doing during all this?
I'll probably go talk to see who all's on DS9.
Okay. All right. So basically, everybody's leaving the ship to get on the station except Frizzy.
Yeah.
All right, Izzy. How's it going down in engineering? What are you doing?
Yeah, like I said, she's been down there basically for the whole cruise, like just looking for anything and everything that could possibly need any work. There's always bugs with new ships.
Sure.
She's been reading up extensively on the new ships over the break. So she had actually already done a lot of research on the Sovereign and has done even more. And just basically wants to make absolutely certain that there are no surprises before we get underway with the actual mission.
Okay. There's a tap on your shoulder while you're down there.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, hey.
Hey.
Hey, I made you some tea because you're looking a little spent, right? Have you slept?
I think I slept a few hours.
And how much sleep do you need?
I mean
More than a few
technically,
hours? More than a few?
Maybe.
Maybe it's a little more than. Hey, I got an idea. Hey, LT. It's just a thought. But why don't you take the tea? Go over into your quarters and just close your eyes. Because guess what? You're working hard, and you know what? I got your back. Right? So come on.
Okay, we're resupplying.
Yeah.
And they've got the list of parts, and
Exactly.
nothing's gonna get done for the next few hours anyway.
I'll help you.
So-
That's what I'm for.
You got it.
Yeah.
You got it.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
And the teams. Yeah.
Again, we're just gonna
That's
close
a-
your eyes
that's a
for a
good
little
call.
bit.
Yeah. So I'll go to my quarters.
Yeah, just do that and just enjoy the tea.
Yeah.
It's really
This
good.
is that good sleepy time stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I know what I'm doing. Come on, Commander.
You really do.
I really do. Commander. All right, you go do your thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Thanks.
take care of this, and I might clean up your office a little bit. It's kind of a mess right now.
Yeah, there's I've got kind of a pile of dishes over there. Sorry about that. You don't have to. I can clean it up later.
Go sleep.
Yeah.
Go sleep.
Mhm.
Good work.
Yeah.
All right, Commander. Good
Knocked
night.
out.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you. You guys get on to DS9. Bustling. There's a lot of activity going on. A lot of Bajorans hanging around. Well, honestly, a lot of everybody hanging around. It's bustling through anything. There's a lot of activity as far as the resupply is going on. There's a lot of activity just, it looks like commerce. There's people traveling in and out. I wouldn't say if we metagame a little bit, this isn't like super busy DS9 from the later seasons, but they're starting to really grow at this point. So it's pretty busy. Anywhere you want to check out. And remember, you are supposed to rendezvous with Cade and Stian at some point in here.
That was going to be my first thing, is finding a location on the panel.
Okay. You can actually hit comms with them if you want better.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
I'll start with Cade.
Oh, hold on. Let me get you.
Oh. Hello?
Cade.
Captain,
Yes.
you on board?
Yes. Myself and Morganth are here.
Come by Quarks, have a drink.
Where are your quarters?
No, not quarters, Quarks.
Quarks.
It's on the promenade.
All right. We'll meet up with you soon.
Looking forward to it.
And I'll go ahead and hit up Stian.
I think he's calling me too. Hey, Captain, Instant Arald, reporting for duty.
It's in. I am guessing that you are at Quarks.
I am at Quarks. Have you played darts?
No,
Darts are fun.
I can't say that I have.
You should come play darts with us.
Come play darts with us, Captain.
Well, we'll be there shortly.
Darts!
Darts!
Morganth, let's be on our way.
Yes, Captain.
You make your way down with a
gonna be
little
great.
bit of instruction. You are able to make your way down towards Promenade. You do see a bustling room full of activity with the occasional yell, Davo! as you're coming through. And you hear a loud, boisterous voice going through it all that is clearly Cade.
Darts!
You walk into Quarks and you see a ton of activity. There are a lot of people playing Davo. You see a very annoyed Ferengi staring at these two over across the bar, playing a rowdy game of darts by themselves.
Rowdy.
Rowdy. No one's actually bothered to teach us the rules. We're just throwing the darts at the board.
Rule number 1, when you throw your dart, you must yell, darts!
Yes! That is why it is called that.
Exactly.
Hello, gentlemen.
Captain! Throw a dart!
Throw a dart.
Can you make him roll to see if he actually hits the board, please?
I'll make them roll to see if they hit the board, but he's at least sober. So.
No, I need to know if he hits it sober.
If he hits it sober, we could do a range.
I'm going to give you 5 threat.
We're off to a
I'm
great
not
start.
missing this.
Not
First roll,
missing
first
this
roll.
I'm
one.
not going to embarrass myself.
First roll. Yeah, roll a ranged attack. Why not?
Okay. Range attacks.
Oh, shoot.
Range attack. 11. And I can roll 2 dice. I roll 2 dice. Yep. Hey! Even up.
How many
One.
did you get?
1.
One? Oh, you missed.
What? What is difficulty 2?
It's a small board.
Captain! Perhaps you missed, because you missed a critical function of darts. When you throw the dart, you must yell, darts!
You didn't hit it.
I didn't throw just now, I was showing you.
He did not have a dart in his hand. That's the motion.
I have picked up a dart and I am examining it.
It is a small dart. It looks very much
Oh, yeah, no.
a dart.
Just for fun.
Just for fun. It's
For
because
me.
it's sharpened.
I'm just checking how sharp it is. I might pocket it.
You hear a voice behind you who's like, are you going to buy anything or not?
Are we staying for a bit? You should have another round. We had some rounds.
I am meeting Admiral Davis soon. So I probably should be sober for that.
They got synthahol and all kinds of other good stuff. If you just want to have something just while you wait.
Meeting an admiral. Well, come on. Let me get you a drink on my... Come here. We can leave these guys... You can play your drat game, whatever it's called.
Darts!
Sure. You know there is Dabo as well, right?
Yeah, I already lost some money on that one. So
Didn't lose enough. Come on, let's get you a drink over here. The Fringy leads you over to... Sure. So, Captain... I forgot my last name.
It's been a while. Newman.
Captain Newman. Captain Newman, welcome to the... I haven't seen you around here, but Captain with the Admiral. I guess there's something big going on, huh?
I don't believe so.
No? Oh. Well, all right. Well, if you're sure. I mean, I'm just saying if there is, I might be able to, help if you need any help with anything.
Honestly, it's all we're doing is going over how our new ship did on a shakedown run.
Oh, you got a new ship.
Yes.
Excellent. Well, if you're sure, look, I'm just saying, if you need anything, come see Quark.
Okay.
Got your back, Captain.
Thank you.
And here's some synthol. on me. As long as you can make sure these two over here fix the holes in my wall.
I'll ensure that they are taken care of.
Sounds great. What about your friend over there staring at that dart?
She's curious about any potentially deadly weapon.
Oh, well,
We all have our picadillos.
true. I guess I'll leave her to that then.
I would.
He walks away. Don't steal it.
I definitely stole it.
In the background, you see Tashek. She kind of walks in, looks around, and then just walks right back.
Let's follow Tashek. Tashek, what are you doing now?
Tashek wants to see this wormhole.
Okay.
So, is that something I can take one of our shuttles or a guide? Find someone to guide me there.
They're probably not just going to let you go there, since at this point DS9 is going to control a lot of traffic coming in and out of the wormhole
Right.
itself. So you would have to have someone actually take you to said wormhole.
Okay.
And
Like
that's
a-
going to take permission.
Like a tour, kind of.
A tour of the wormhole kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's a tour. You look across the promenade, and you see a Denobulan sitting there waving his arms like, tour of the wormhole, the Bajoran wormhole, the only said wormhole.
Excuse me,
Yes.
When does this tour begin?
Well, we can start right now.
All right, and this is a sanctioned tour.
Absolutely.
Do you have any credentials I may inspect before?
Look at the time. I really do need to go. If you'll excuse me. He packs up all his stuff. It was wonderful speaking with you. If you need anything, I'll be somewhere else. Have a great evening.
Yes.
Immediately leaves. Deep credentials.
A little disappointed, but keeps walking.
I mean,
Welcome to Casablanca.
as you were walking, you notice a flash on the side of your eye, and you look through one of the windows of the upper part of the promenade, and you do see the wormhole flash open as you see a flotilla of ships pushing through the wormhole. So you do see the wormhole from the distance.
Wow, beautiful. I'm just gonna kind of admire it for a while and study it.
It's easy to admire that because it's pretty nice. It's pretty darn nice. You're leaving Quarks at this point.
Uh-huh.
Where do you want to head now?
Haven't heard from Davis yet, right?
Haven't heard from Davis yet. No.
Am I leaving these jokers?
Up to you.
I'll let them decide what they want to do on the way out. I'll just say there's only two things I require of you. One is to help patch up that wall, and the other is to be sober before you step foot on a ship.
I got 2 hyperspray cartridges ready with my special cocktail.
And if you need anything, feel free to calm us.
Of course, Captain. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Darts! Darts!
Morgan,
Captain.
unless you'd rather stay here,
I'm happy to leave, Captain.
let's be off then.
Leave bustling promenade. A lot of stores, a lot of shops, a lot of activity going on.
Hey.
The station is yours, essentially.
Any shopping you'd like to do while we're here?
Already have, Captain.
Okay. I need to look around a little bit. I want to see if there's any small, semi-valuable or valuable metals that I could buy for purpose of making traditional Nordic jewelry.
All right, fair enough. I mean, there are a lot of shops around. I'm sure that you can find somebody over there. Let's say you do. You walk not too far away, and you see a Bajoran with a very small shop, a little alcove over there. You notice that there's jewelry. It looks like it's handmade jewelry and things. You could probably assume that there would be some metals that he
Okay.
has used in their place. So yeah.
Hello,
Hello, Commander.
Captain.
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's
Captain.
fine.
I'm sorry.
You're not required to know what these mean.
Yes, I thought one day I think I have them, and the next day I don't. You would think with this much time on a station, I was like, anyway, hi, hello, what can I do for you and your friend here?
Well, I've recently taken on the hobby of making jewelry from my own family's tradition.
Oh, so a fellow jeweler.
I wouldn't go that far yet. Typically, these items are more wrought metal than they would have gems.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So I'm looking for some transportable, easily melted and forged without needing an entire forge because I am on a starship.
Ah, yes.
There are workarounds,
Sure.
which I have, but I need some basic materials to work with.
Well, I'm sure we can get you something. You said mostly forged materials, like just a straight old iron. You're not looking for a finer, softer metal.
No, I wouldn't mind. I mean, whatever grabs my fancy to work with is what I will purchase or what I will procure, and then I'll figure it out.
I see. Okay.
Yes. So I've
Right.
made a few items already of different materials, but just looking for new challenges.
Well, I have a few. Most of the metals that I get, I use to make my own wares, which you're welcome to look at and peruse if you'd like. But I do have a few that I could probably part with for an upstanding Federation officer such as yourself. Let me see what I can find. He disappears from when he comes back a moment later. He's like, I do have a couple of ingots. I have an ingot of a silver.
Mhm.
I do actually have a small ingot of iron. I mostly use it for bases, for connecting. I don't really use it for crafting, but I do have iron, and it sounds like maybe that's something that would work. I have a little bit of bronze that might be interesting for you to work with as well. But that's all I really have right now. I have a silver, I have a bronze, and I have some iron.
Well, I'll take it all.
All of it?
Unless you can't part with it.
No, I can part with it. Absolutely, I can absolutely part with it. Yes. We'll wrap that up if that's all right. I can probably give you a deal, 10 credits. Fair?
That's very fair.
I just want to pull the captain aside.
What?
He'll go lower.
I'm sure. I can. Have you seen my paycheck? I got it.
I have.
Yeah, it's good. I can afford it. Yeah.
Everything all right?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, then, yes, 20 credits will be quite a party. Yes.
All right. I'll have that transferred over.
Perfect. Thank you. And here you go.
Thank you.
Good luck. Let me know what you make. I'd love to see your work someday.
As if I end up back here, I'll show you what I've made with these materials.
That would be lovely.
Oh, thank you.
Have a wonderful day. Any commander, anything I can get for you as well, Commander?
No, thank you.
Okay. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful day.
All right. Move on.
Have you let any of the crew know that you've been doing this kind of stuff? Is there any chance that I would have
come
seen you
up?
working on it? Okay.
Yeah, if it's not something I'm hiding.
Okay.
It's something that I started doing while I was stuck in constant debriefings and near captivity on at Starfleet headquarters.
That quarantine.
Yeah,
I
did
make
that.
Sure you were deborgified.
I did that. I tried to get better at shooting. I'm still working on it.
We do now have a holodeck.
Yeah.
So you can train.
And another thing that we did on semi downtime, if you're cool with it, Kate, is trying to get me better at like security shit
Yes.
stuff.
Yes.
Cool.
You're already at like 3 or 4.
So I'll probably swap some stats somewhere down the line when it's available.
Okay.
Just because I'd like to have that score
Sure.
a little bit better.
Sure. No worries at all. Just to remind everybody, they all had 3 milestones coming into this. There's been a bunch of changes as far as talents and attributes and disciplines and everything going on. So not only do they have a new ship, they're new people. Let's jump back into Quarks. What are you two doing?
I am finishing off what is left in my glass and chatting with my good friend who has been keeping me company here aboard Terra DS9.
It's a good way to start off a new ship, a new what do you call it?
Voyage?
Yeah,
Endeavor?
mission.
Yes, mission.
And so you can just sober us up with the hypo spray.
Yeah, it was
It's really handy.
yeah, it was a trick I learned back in the Resistance. We had to be able to be alert at a moment's notice, but we enjoyed our occasional rebels as well. So
Can we have darts on the ship?
I don't see why not.
Oh, excellent.
I mean, we can. They got to have a replicator pattern for it, or we can just. I hear there's a working holodeck on the new ship. They can create anything.
Wow.
We had the Arboretum and a little bit of an arcade on the last one. It was pretty neat. I don't know if you ever got to try it out, but
No.
they were great. But I guess now we can just create, like, be in the game. Or if we want to play it, we just have it create the game for us again. I don't know how it's.
Well, I'm happy to see all of us back on the crew again. I know we all had many paths we could have taken. And good to see you and everyone back here together as a crew once again.
I wouldn't miss this opportunity.
I almost did. I mean, the representative's position was very appealing.
Oh, I'm certain.
But then I realized when I thought about it, that was the ego talking. If it was the more prestigious position, it seemed to be easier. But it was not. The position where I had the most knowledge to gain, the most to learn, the most. It's not the path where I could do and see the most. So I thought, starting out as an ensign in Starfleet, that is somewhat humbling and a good place to begin a new path of knowledge in a universe I know so little about.
No, I thought the exact same. I had the chance to come back to school back here on Bajor and finish up my degree, be a real doctor. And I thought about it, and the things we've seen and done just in the short time aboard the Mazu, I would never see inside a classroom or a lab. I've helped more people and learned so much more about life and how it functions in the universe than I ever in books or even the battlefield. It's...
You might have a more. So you have seen the sum total of my time in Starfleet.
Yes.
Is it usually that densely packed?
Not to my knowledge. I've probably only got a few more months than you do of actual service. And most of that involved moving crates around on a station that was way less bustling than this one. At least in my time there. I couldn't have foreseen the things we've done.
No, sir. I did not expect at all to live more in that small period of time than I think I have in my previous entire lifetime.
And now, traveling through the Celestial Temple. The other side of the galaxy. Who knows what's waiting?
Well, I'm glad to have you back.
It's good to be here with you.
Would have been strange to come on board a ship without the people who I shared all those experiences with.
I guess they could, yeah. New ship, they could have easily split us up. And we did have our choice of other assignments as well. But
And yet,
Mazu's home.
yes, here we all are.
I don't even think we need those hyposprays at this point.
Yeah.
Sobering conversation.
Does that mean you're not drinking anymore?
Yeah, go ahead and close us out. I have one last thing I need to take care of before I leave, and I'd like to be sober for that. So.
Okay, great. You're gonna fix those holes, right?
Yes.
Or you can pay me to fix them.
How much would that?
Extra 10 credits.
I'll pitch in 5.
Yeah.
Fair enough. In that case, I'll let you have that package. Hey! He gets over there as a package. He's like, you're, Nihil. Right, sure, here you go.
Everyone saw the cave.
Okay, Gabe. Great. Throws that package at you. It's just a little box.
No return matter.
No, just an empty box. Or not an empty box. Whatever.
Wow, this is so absurd. I'm gonna pocket it for right now.
Pocket it?
Yeah.
It's a little big to pocket.
I have my duffel with me.
I have big
assuming.
pockets.
I am wearing my coat.
That was one of the milestones I picked, was big pockets.
Big pockets?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's my new talent.
New talent.
Big pockets.
So you're just going to throw it in your duffel?
Yes.
Okay, throw it in your duffel.
Would you have any notion of where I might find a Major Kira?
Yeah, she's probably on command deck.
Okay, and where would I? How do I get there from here?
Head that direction. You can't miss it.
Okay. Thank you very much, and for your infinite patience.
I wouldn't say infinite.
Thank you for your finite patience.
More like it.
You're more than welcome to come with if you don't have anything else to do.
I got nothing. I'm just becoming sober.
I just need some advice.
Well, I could be glad to help any way I can, or just follow along and learn.
Well then, to the command deck we go.
Sounds great.
Oh boy.
How's it going with you just staring at wormholes?
I've gone to the market
Mhm.
and looked for some kind of like bookshop.
Okay.
I'm guessing there would be one there.
Yeah, you can find a little bookshop there.
Okay. Well, is there? Okay, I'm looking around. Maybe for like a kind of detective novel, pulp.
Sure. You found a bookshop, and there's a lot of old books. This is dealing in all of the older books. Not necessarily valuable books, but they're old.
Okay.
You do find some, and you see a stack that's marked mystery. Just Tellarite over there, just rifling through things.
Excuse me. How much are these here?
You know what they say?
Is that negotiable?
Do you know what they say? If you have to ask, you can't afford it.
She kind of scowls at him, like grabs a couple, hands the money.
I guess you can't afford it. Enjoy the read.
I will.
Good.
Thank you.
You're not welcome. You have a couple of books. They are older paperbacks, definitely of a pulp variety. There's definitely a mystery. One of them looks like it was probably misshelved. It looks more like a romance. There's a very busty Beta Z hugging a Tellarite. It's very interesting.
Okay, yeah. Check's kind of making sure no one she knows is around. Looking through the...
It's a really good read. You know, it's like, ooh.
After that, I'm gonna head back to the Mazu.
All right, heading back to the Mazu. I'm assuming you're still sleeping at this point.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth it. You should be sleeping.
Roll for
Unless you can't sleep. Can you sleep?
Honestly, probably not.
Okay, so what are you doing in there?
Yeah, it'll be probably like a good hour of kind of staring at the ceiling and then kind of just I know if I stay on the ship Delaran will find me, I'll get yelled at. So I'm gonna go ahead and head over to the station.
All right.
And head over to the promenade and look for something that looks highly caffeinated. I vaguely recall there being a Klingon eatery.
There is a Klingon eatery there. Yes, it's small.
Because that's Roctigino's Klingon coffee, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I go in search of Roctigino.
You find yourself a small little alcove Klingon eatery over there. The smell of real Klingon foods wafting through. It smells pretty darn good. But you also, mixed in with that, you do smell that unmistakable aroma of Rakutachino.
Yeah, actually, because the rest of it smells really good too. So I'll go ahead and pick up probably some gach. Little one.
Just a little one.
And a big Rakutachino.
All right. You get yourself some wonderful Klingon food, and that, oh man, tastes great. This is like authentic. You wouldn't think you'd be getting that at DS9, but there's a significant Klingon presence here right now. So yeah, it's a real deal.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, then she'll just probably just go for a walk along the promenade and probably also look at the wormhole, and then just kind of she hasn't been in this sector in ages, so she just kind of wants to see what's new.
It's changed a lot since the last time.
Yeah, because the last time she was here would have been like right after the Federation took it over, like passed through briefly, and then
And then the Federation took over. That was DS9. I mean, you're taking a walk, you're seeing those stuff. There's a lot of people there. You think maybe you catch sight of Tashek in a corner with a book? You're not sure though. It might be her, but then the next minute she disappears on that. But yeah, you're just hanging out, taking your time. You two commanders, what are you up to?
No word from Davis yet, I take it.
Not as of yet, no.
Unless there's something you wanted to do, I figure we just keep checking out the cool crap.
Yeah, I think a dagger caught my eye.
Dagger caught your eye? Of course.
Yes.
Of course dagger caught your eye. I'm assuming, yes.
And then actually now that we're here, there are a few things that I could pick up.
Other than daggers, or just more daggers?
It's definitely some more daggers.
Some more daggers.
A number of.
Yeah. And then also some yarn.
Yarn. Okay.
And then I would like to stop by that book store,
Okay.
the bookshop.
You're able to find some yarn. You get a nice selection, reasonably priced, and there's a bookshop. Get over there. It's Tellarite, still grumpily looking through things, slapping prices on things, throwing the books aside, glares at you as you walk in.
And I grab a novel, and I also grab a blank book.
You gonna pay for that?
Yes,
Get on it.
I'm in the process. And I pay him.
Thank you.
In credits.
In credits, you have some yarn and a blank book.
And a novel.
And a novel, that's right. It's kind of a cool blank book, too. You can tell it's like a hand-wrought leather. It's a little higher quality than you would assume you'd find here, but it's pretty nice stuff.
It called to me.
Clearly, yes. You two have made your way to command.
Also got a dagger. It called to me too.
Yes.
Looking around, do I see?
You see some activity as you look around. You do notice someone look across. Looks like a Trill looks across, says, "Can I help you?"
I'm sorry to interrupt anything that might be going on. I'm just trying to see if I could get an audience with Major Kira.
An audience. I've never heard that before. She'll love that. She will absolutely love that. Can I tell her who you are?
Ensign Cade Nahil, formerly lieutenant of the Bajoran militia.
Oh, did you serve with her?
We had some mutual acquaintances.
Okay. Okay. I guess so. Nerys calls over, and you see Bajoran standing up there. Yes.
I was wondering if I could have a moment of your time, Major.
My time is very busy right now. I don't know if you've noticed, but there is a station to be run.
Absolutely. And if it's too much, I can, by all means, I can be dismissed.
And the Trill says, Nerys, stop it. He served with you. Maybe. Kind of. I don't know. He's old Bajor.
Old Bajor.
All right. Come on up.
Thank you.
Motions you up. Says, what can I do for you, Ensign?
Vedic Pashta recommended that I touch base with you while I was on board. I served with the Karash cell.
What's your name?
Cade Nahil.
Oh, you. It's nice to meet you.
You as
Nice
well.
to meet you, Cade.
I've heard so many things of our paths I would have imagined would have crossed before, but
It would seem like, but apparently
it's-
not. No, I've
no.
heard about you in the past. It's nice to meet you.
you as well.
What brings you to DS9 and what brings you to the Federation?
I transferred my service about a year ago after the attack on the colony by the Dominion. I thought I might be able to do more good
in the
in these
Federation.
ranks.
Yes, how's that working out for you?
It's been
A challenge.
yes.
I know the feeling.
is the I think the shorthand version of it.
Sure.
Our I'm serving aboard the Mazu.
That's that Sovereign that just docked.
Yes.
Beautiful ship.
We had a pretty good old Constellation that we served on originally, and
Constellation?
yes.
Didn't know they were still in service.
Well, they're not anymore. I think we were on aboard the last one,
Well,
and she
that's-
didn't survive the last mission.
Oh, really?
But we're carrying on, and our next mission is taking us through the temple.
You hear a voice coming from behind. It's like, Major Kira. In here, you see an imposing man standing. Everything. He says, "A word, please." Calls her up. You see them having a little hush conversation. She comes back to you a minute later. He's like, "Ensign, it's been wonderful speaking with you, but I do have some things I need to take care of."
Of course, if I wondered if you had any advice on the experience of going through such sacred space. I'm not sure what to expect.
I think, if I'm being honest, Ensign, don't expect too much. There's a lot of beautiful things in the world. This is just one more thing.
Thank you.
Not the most religious right now. So.
That's fair. but I heard that you had been through, and
I've been through a few times, yes. And it's interesting. But if you'll excuse me, I have to get to work. And she leaves.
Of course.
As she leaves immediately, you see Captain standing there. He says, "Ensign."
Sir.
Leans in really close, says, "Perhaps don't speak too much to people you aren't familiar with."
Of course.
Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you, Ensign?
Yes, of course, sir.
Very well.
And can I just say, for whatever it's worth, it's an honor.
Thank you, Ensign. I'm not sure that would be worth much to you, but whatever makes you happy. Seriously, Ensign. Previous mission, maybe don't spread it around too much.
Yes, of course.
Turns and walks away. Steon's still down there waiting on you.
We can go. I think I got what I needed.
And the Trill is just been having a conversation with Steon the whole time. It's like, but this was so interesting. I've never met a Hearth.
I've never met a Trill.
Well,
He had.
I guess not. No.
Nope.
Well, there's always the first for everything. It's wonderful to meet you, Steon. Ensign, I guess I should say. Looking forward to DS9. Maybe we'll get a chance to talk again sometime.
Thank you for the conversation.
Absolutely. It's been wonderful.
I'm sorry for my confusion there. I forget that you never met her.
Oh. Yeah.
I think I could maybe use one more drink.
Yeah, well, that's not enough to get. Well, maybe I should not have one more drink.
Yes, let's have one of us remain sensible.
I'm new at the drinking.
Well,
To drinking.
the captain and I will teach you well.
I've built up the tolerance that you have yet.
Ooh, go. Give it time. Give it time. It's a wonderful experiment to engage in.
let's jump back to Newman real quick. You get a ping on your communicator.
Newman.
Captain Newman, this is Lieutenant Commander Dax. I have a message for you from Admiral Davis. He is on board the station and would like a meeting with your entire senior staff in the next 1 hour.
Thank you.
We'll have a room ready for you at command.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Out. All right. Well, I'll ping everybody and tell them we gotta meet.
Get sober. Yeah, so you ping everybody and you tell them to meet, let's say about 45 minutes. You can all kind of gather together. So all 6 of you meet outside of command on DS9 in about 45 minutes. You've got a few minutes before you should go in to meet with Admiral Davis. Anything you want to talk about?
I just, while I was walking, would have found somewhere that's selling hopefully rough semi-precious stones and picked up a few interesting looking ones.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. You can definitely find a few stones like that. I'm assuming you two are sober at this point.
Yeah, I think we were on our way when we got the. It was just like, well, we didn't even have a chance.
Sounds good. Shaq, anything
Probably
doing
just hung
exciting?
out there.
How's that novel?
I dropped off my books and left them in my quarters so no one will see.
Morgan, do you anything fun and exciting? You're just sharpening your daggers.
I have kept the dagger and dropped the other things and the dart.
Of course, the dark.
And the other items have been dropped off.
I have noticed an interesting smell from these two.
What is that?
I do think maybe I also grabbed a Raktajino
Well, as you
just
would.
on my way back.
Sure, as you would, of course. Captain, did you do anything else? We're just getting ready for this meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's get ready for the meeting.
Everybody is in there, and it's pretty much time. You can lead them in.
We'll go in. Whatever. it is.
You enter command. You do see the command staff there. You do see Commander Cisco, at this point Captain Cisco, I guess, up on the deck. Sees you in. And he says, "Captain Newman, welcome aboard."
Captain Cisco.
I believe that Admiral Davis will be here shortly. I've set up a ready room over here for you to have your meeting in.
Thank you.
Hope you found DS9 to your, I don't know, standards.
At the very least.
Flying a beautiful ship, sir. I would hope that we can keep up with that.
And it's being this close to a wormhole has its perks.
That it does. That it does. Yes. You're in
I mean,
some,
not all good, but
well, it's true, but it does have a beautiful view every once in a while.
yes.
You can't deny that. Well, we have the red room set up for you. In case you don't need anything from me, I will leave you all to it. Admiral Davis should be here shortly.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, and good luck, Captain. Captain Cisco leaves, and you have the ready room. It's just a small ready room, table set in the middle. Chance to talk with the rest of the crew if you want to before Davis shows up.
Does anyone have any questions before we speak with Admiral Davis?
I would have been monitoring just sort of the supply progress and just reports just as the day goes on.
Yeah, nothing
Everything's going as
everything's
I would
going
expect.
as expected.
Great.
Yeah.
Also, was this one of those like came out of space dock kind of rough, or was this like everything actually was working?
We'll talk
pretty
about it
well?
in the meeting.
Okay.
And this is also your last chance to tell me about anything you may need that I cannot provide, but that Davis might be able to in regards to the ship.
Was there anything?
Y'all role play a little bit. Let's see.
I mean, because that's one of those like, what's on my reports?
Yeah, I mean, I'm aware that you've written a rather extensive report. I'm just curious, was there anything that was that you didn't want to put on the report?
Oh no, I put everything on the report, sir.
Good.
I have yet to even step on board, so if George needed anything, I trust his
Kate,
judgment.
I'm sorry I have to tell you this. You'll never be on board that ship. You're staying here
Sorry, what?
in this room. Sorry, at Davis's orders. He wants you to be in this room.
This room?
Yes, this is your home now. I'm afraid I'm sorry I had to tell you this way. But you have to stay in this room.
Like, this is my office? Am I joining the medical staff here, or what?
Yes. Yes.
We have a holographic physician on board now, so
I'm sorry.
This is also.
I mean, that's an emergency measure. It's the emergency holographic medic.
It's a new thing they're trying. They've made some improvements to the
It's a state-of-the-art
program.
ship. Okay, you realize how good this ship is. So imagine how good this fake doctor is.
It's.
The fake space doctor.
It even gets upset with us.
Great bedside manner.
A little prickly.
Very realistic.
Can he throw darts?
Very well, very accurately.
I imagine if we programmed in the darts, he would throw them. I believe this is not only your office, Kate, but also your quarters.
Right off the bridge.
Wonderful view.
I mean, that can't be. I have to have quarters somewhere else on board. They wouldn't have.
Believe the captain said this room.
Yes.
That was the.
This comes from the highest levels of Starfleet.
Well, if the emissary wants me here, then I'll serve here.
Izzy is like sinking in her chair.
Okay, maybe I misjudged you. We've joked about things before, haven't we? You laughed when I said something mildly amusing.
Yes, when you've said something mildly amusing, I have laughed.
Right. Oh, this isn't funny to you. This obvious ruse is not funny. You took it seriously that we would actually make you stay in a room.
I mean, I didn't think I was going to be imprisoned here, but
Okay, the EMHs are so rude. They're horrible.
You're definitely coming back to the ship. Don't
This
be
is not your quarters.
No.
you got. All right, I'm already worried enough. I made a ass out of myself out there in front of the emissary, and now I'm coming here, and you're telling me I have to.
Of course.
All right, I'm a little on edge. Okay, just.
I'm sorry. Maybe it wasn't the right moment for levity.
It was.
Yeah, I thought so too. That's why I did it. I thought it would be very funny. It was very funny.
It was.
I found it.
Captain.
Tashek thought it was funny.
I mean, I didn't think it was.
Well, yes, she's clearly cracking a stitch.
I mean, I've never encountered actual hologram technology, but it couldn't even hold a dart, could it?
No.
That's what I thought.
It could hold a
That's what I was funny.
It could hold a holographic dart.
Yeah.
Well, but that would hardly be fair. I mean, it would.
It was funny.
The door opens and Admiral Davis walks in.
And everybody at attention.
Sir.
Admiral.
As you were. Seems I interrupted something.
Nothing at
Nothing at
report,
all.
sir.
As you are. Have a seat, everyone. I'm not
I
sure.
step over the back of my chair.
Are you tall enough, though? Are you that tall?
He's in tall chairs.
Because if not, it's just going to be a super awkward,
I ram my groin into a chair.
What's the nature of a medical emergency?
See your hologram handle this.
Everyone have a seat again in case. I'm not sure that it was officially happened, but welcome to Deep Space Nine. It's been a lot going on. I do want to start off by making sure everyone understands that from this point forward, everything that happens on the USS Mazu is considered top secret and confidential. Understood?
Understood.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. That also excludes any events at the Zeroless system. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very well. Well, welcome aboard DS9, and tell me about your new ship. Lieutenant Commander, how's that engine working for you?
How was the engine working?
You tell me. Roleplay a little bit.
Just okay. Everything is functioning more or less within parameters. I've submitted some reports on a few little performance quirks. They're just the usual sort of shakedown bugs, but nothing that I think we can't fix with some extra supplies and a few more hours here in dock before we head out again. I just wanted to make extra special sure that we wouldn't run into any surprises out there
Well, can't guarantee
doing
that.
whatever we're doing.
Sure, can't guarantee that. But the engine itself running well, correct?
Yes, the engines do seem to be. There were a few conduits that I have ordered replacements for. I have also requested a few extra parts just in case. I just don't really know what to expect from this mission, and just want to make sure that we have.
The requests were forwarded to me. I've already doubled your response, so you're gonna get twice that.
Thank you, sir.
Very well, very well. Talk to me about weapons, Commander.
We have them, Admiral.
Working effectively.
It's a nice change.
I'm sure it is. Nothing against your old ship, but
I loved the Mazu. I also fought in the Mazu.
good point. Good point. Mazue, though, seems to be meeting your expectations.
Yes, Admiral.
Fabulous. Khan, I believe that's you, Lieutenant.
Yes, Admiral.
How's she handled?
She's handling great for a Sovereign class ship. Maneuverability could be a little better, but with that size ship, it is
A little bigger than your old.
Yes, Admiral.
A lot bigger than your old.
Oh man.
Yes, it will. It's taken some adjustment, but I believe I have a hold on it now.
Let's speak a little about adjustments, Lieutenant. How are you adjusting?
It has been an interesting few months, but I feel finally like I am one with myself and my body and mind.
No lingering ill effects?
Sometimes I find I may be a little more daring in my pursuits. Nothing, no adverse reactions though.
Interesting. The fact that a Vulcan would say that being more daring is not an adverse reaction almost sounds Romulan, doesn't it?
Calculated daring.
Good response.
Real quick, that's still very Romulan.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Captain, any thoughts about your shakedown?
The earliest part of the shakedown, I noticed that there was some tension and difficulties with the crew as we have expanded greatly and with many replacements. Some with more experience than the people that were on Amazu, and a lot with less. But as we continued to shake down, communication increased, efficiency increased. I can show you those reports. There was less confusion on people's responsibilities. And I believe now I can say that this is a fully functional Sovereign class ship, both in personnel and in material.
Good to hear. Good to hear. It's going to need to be. And I have to ask, looking around the room, I see that your senior staff had no significant changes.
No.
And you are still comfortable with those decisions?
Yes.
I like a direct answer, Captain. I like a direct answer. Let's get to it. There's a lot that we need to discuss. As I said, from this point forward, anything related to the Mazu and your experience in the Zerla system, and also on Hearth, are considered top secret and classified. Report on the Zerla system, just so you know, Starfleet Science is still examining the site, but honestly, there's not much left. In the past few months since the incident at Zerless, we have not been able to discover much. Despite the strength of the Hearth structures there, not much was able to survive the events at the end. It's rubble, for want of a better word. We're still attempting a research site, but we are not hopeful of any additional discoveries at this point.
Were the additional personnel accounted for?
Sorry, what do you need?
The research group, Prescott's team.
The only body we have recovered, if you could even call it a body, was Dr. Prescott's, and that was purely identified with genetic material. We have not been able to recover any other bodies from the site itself.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Of course. On that note, I don't know how much you have been paying attention to chatter, but Admiral Grossich is missing. There has been no recovery of that body. I've mentioned this and had a discussion in the past with Captain Newman, and it may be time to bring you all in on the Founders and the Dominion. I don't know how much you know of the Dominion or the Founders at this point, but
That explains Prescott.
that explains a lot. Starfleet Intelligence believes that Admiral Grossich was co-opted by a Founder and has been acting as an agent of the Dominion for quite a while. Research shows the most likely time was a vacation he had 3 years ago. It's unfortunate, but the official position of Starfleet is that Admiral Grossich was lost in a shuttle incident in the Shackleton Expanse. I can tell you he was a gruff son of a bitch, but he was also a friend. And I'm not going to let a Dominion agent ruin the reputation of a man like that. As far as Starfleet is concerned, Admiral Grossich was lost in a shuttle incident. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Understood.
Understood. Ensign Rawl.
Sure.
To begin with, thank you for your assistance in our ongoing efforts with Hearth. You and Captain Newman did spend some time on Hearth during this break, doing some research with the YIG. The Hearth have been very appreciative. Having said that, the potential weaponization of the Hearth technology is not a reality. Is that understood?
Understood, sir.
The Hearth have been consulted extensively. Godia has been consulted, and as far as the government of the Hearth is concerned, any incident that has happened on there has purely been research based. The fires were accidents started by research. Long story short, Starfleet has determined that it is in the best interest of everyone in the galaxy to not let anyone know there's a way to weaponize this technology.
Absolutely, sir.
Thing about secrets is it's hard to keep them, so let's make sure that everyone in this room understands the significance of this.
Yes, sir.
You are some of the fewest people in the galaxy that understand everything that happened. So if there's a leak, it would come through here. This is on you. Remember that? Keep it secret.
Permission to speak, sir?
Granted.
Given it seems that much of our time aboard the former Mazu is now going to be a matter of discretion,
Yes.
is there any official word that we should be saying as to how we did spend that time?
You were redirected to perform research within the Shackleton Expanse. The Mazu encountered some negative environmental impacts and was not able to survive. It was damaged extensively. Crew survived, but the Mazu needed to be scuttled at that point.
Thank you, sir.
Of course.
How will we explain Rawls passing?
Rawls passing is still up for debate. There's only so many shuttle accidents you can have. There are those who have suggested that it was an error on her part which caused a problem within the ship. I do not like that suggestion, and I am fighting against it. As of right now, Rawl was lost to an unspecified accident on board the ship. We're working on it, Captain.
I assume that regardless of the status of her passing, that the people she cares about the most compensated emotionally and physically.
I'm not going to throw her all under the bus. I'm not going to throw her friends and family under the bus, Captain.
Well, maybe her family.
They'll be taken care of.
Well, I don't know. Pick who you help because they nearly killed her.
Understood, Captain. Understood. Let's get back to it. Just so you all know, you have been working with the Yig on Hearth. The Yig is operational, but the crystal is severely damaged at this point. Power is very limited, and it's been very difficult to get any additional information. So as of this point, research on the Yig is on hold while we analyze data. Our agreement with Hearth has been very interesting. Our agreement is to use the Jur system as a training ground for ships within the Federation. So there will always be at least 3 starships in the system in training. We are also working with Starfleet Science to work with Hearth to study it. We're doing a lot of analyzing of the data, and we are making some progress on that. And I notice people are shivering right now, so let me turn the AC up a little bit.
I feel good.
Who's shaking? Okay.
The environmental controls on this station are amazing.
It's done a lot of good work on you.
I'm gonna get a jacket whenever we take a break.
So going back to that, with the data that has been mined from our time with the Yig, we have come to some conclusions. Number one, we feel confident that there were 2 Yigs within the Beta Quadrant. The one on Hearth and the one within the Shackleton Expanse. Based on what we've able to recover, we have not found any evidence of any Yigs within the Alpha Quadrant. We do have strong confidence that there is a Yig in the Gamma Quadrant. And that is why we're here today. Based on our experience with the Zerla system, there are 3 groups that have knowledge of what happened. The people within this room, the Borg, and the Dominion. Starfleet Intelligence has analyzed all of the data that we have. We don't feel that any technology was recovered by the Borg that would lead them to be a threat. And they also determined that the Borg are not an inventive group. They're not going to generate this on their own. The Founders, however, would not only do the research to generate this weapon, they would be more than willing to use it. And not sure if you know the Odyssey, all hands lost in the Gamma Quadrant due to a Jem'Hadar attack. They would not hesitate to use it if needed. Federation cannot let the Founders get their hands on this technology. We don't know how much they know about it. We don't know how much they would be able to do on their own. But we do know they know it exists. And if there is a Yig in the Gamma Quadrant, they can't get it. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
And that is the mission. You are to go to the Gamma Quadrant. You will find the Yig there, and you will destroy it. At any cost, the Dominion cannot get this technology. Understood?
Understood.
The Mazu is right off the line. It has been designed and upgraded to keep you alive because let me be very clear. You will be on your own. You will be in the Gamma Quadrant. You will be thousands of light years away from any help from Starfleet. She's been designed to hit hard and hit fast because the Dominion will not take prisoners. But you are to avoid contact with the Dominion when possible. They have the numbers, they have the strength. If you do encounter them in numbers, you will lose. Understood, Captain? The Mazu A has been designated as a command ship. You will be able to handle anything that comes your way, whether it needs to be negotiations or combat. You will have the ability with this ship. Taking the liberty of installing 2 fighter craft in the ship as well to supplement your normal complement of shuttles. Captain, you will have a yacht installed as well. The Rawl will be the captain's yacht on board the Mazu.
Out of character, are the fighters already on there and we've had a chance to look them over?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me reiterate again, you're on your own. I suggest you stay under the radar and on the move. If the Jem'Hadar find you and show up in force, the Mazu will be destroyed. You can hold your own. They will outnumber you in their own home. You have to survive and stop the Dominion from finding a game. These supplies on board the ship, you are stocked to the gills. That is why your requests, Lieutenant Commander, have been doubled. But intelligence feels that this is going to be the best way to do it, but we also feel that you need a head start. We feel confident that the Dominion is monitoring any traffic on the Gamma Quadrant terminus of the wormhole. We would rather them not know where you're going. So, Starfleet Intelligence has developed a plan. It's not going to be easy, but it may be the best chance you have of getting a leg up. You ready?
Yes.
We have made an arrangement for an escort through the wormhole of 6 Ferengi freighters. Not much of an escort from the sound of things. Well, that's because we intend to use them to hide your presence. These Ferengi freighters will be functioning with malfunctioning warp cores that are emitting an unhealthy amount of delta radiation. Starfleet Intelligence, while we don't know everything about Dominion sensor technology, we believe that delta radiation will effectively mask much of the area. However, to be safe, the Mazu's engines need to be modified to emit delta radiation. The Mazu will also need to be fit to protect the crew from this delta radiation. It'll be part of your time here on DS9. Ensign, Chief Medical Officer, you need to be ready if something happens.
Yes, sir.
Delta radiation is nothing to mess around with, and there could be casualties, many, if things go wrong. Once again, we do feel that's the best way to get through. Once you reach the Gamma Quadrant terminus of the wormhole, the flotilla will warp 4 on the course that will be given to you. Moments after that, the Mazu will accelerate to warp 6 and change course. You will drop out of warp 6. Mazu has been loaded with specially designed torpedoes that will emit false warp signatures. Once you drop out of warp, you will launch those torpedoes. You will immediately go to maximum warp again. Drop out of warp, fire a second salvo, head to warp again. At that point, you're on your own. Like I said, we have every expectation the Jem'Hadar will be monitoring any traffic coming through the wormhole. And we feel pretty confident that even delta radiation is not going to be able to hide a ship the size of the Mazu with those Ferengi freighters. Any questions?
Do we have any leads as to where we should begin our investigation once we're through and hopefully disguised?
Short answer, no. Longer answer, I don't want to know where you're going. The less we know on the Alpha Quadrant size, the safer you are. Having said that, Lieutenant Commander, I have something for you. He grabs a briefcase. Briefcase over. Open it up. You see a hearth crystal. The only thing we've been able to salvage from the Zerolus crystal of any value is that.
It's the remaining pieces from Zerolus.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to ask. That's
A lot of pieces there.
Mm-hmm.
But Starfleet Science has taken a look at your work, and if anyone in Starfleet can do something with them, it's probably you. They feel that they can be used to essentially make a compass.
Yes.
Can you handle it?
I'll have a few other pieces of equipment that I'll need for analysis, chemical analysis, structural. I'll get that to you.
ASAP.
Yes, I type it on a pad and
That's ASAP. Send it off. We'll have them requisition that immediately for you.
basically it's the list of things she's wished that she's had for like the last 30 years.
Okay, if there are no questions, you have your mission. First step is to get to the Gamma Quadrant. And from that point forward, fair sailing and fair winds. It's all dismissed. You're dismissed. Admiral Davis packs his gear up.
All right, sir.
Let me talk metagaming a little bit on how this is actually going to work at this point. You are going to need to modify the warp engines.
Yeah.
It's going to be a task that we'll check to make sure you do it all right. The result of modifying these engines to emit that, any checks to go to warp increase the difficulty by 2. Okay. Power management increases difficulty by 1 and complication range by 2.
Say that again.
Difficulty by 1 increase, complication range by 2. They're also going to need to be an engineering task. A science task. I want science and medical working together to develop shielding for the warp core. We're just going to do a couple of quick task checks on that to see how well that's going to work. And medical, you're going to have to be preparing for any potential exposure to delta radiation on the ship.
Can I have a question about the going to warp?
Mm-hmm.
Is it increased difficulties because of the radiation?
No, it's because of what she's doing to the warp engines.
Like
to
we're
make it-
gonna have to do some nasty things to the engines
Okay.
to make
So
it.
it's not an environmental.
No, this is purely an engine.
And what was the
Okay.
change for that? It was
By +2.
what was it? Difficulties +2.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's normally 1 for going to warp, I believe, so we're going to make it a 3. So it's going to be tough. But you guys have been able to handle it before. So we will go through and make modifications to the Mazu, go make the jump into the Gamma Quadrant terminus, and see if you can get past any Gemhadar patrols. Sound good?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Does anybody need to take a break?
Yes.
Yeah, let's take a break and we'll come back and we'll see what happens on the other side of the Gamma Quadrant.
All right.
The wormhole.
And we're back. Welcome back to the Mazu, everybody. You just finished the briefing with Admiral Davis, stepping out of the briefing room onto command of DS9. What now?
I'd like to put in a requisition for as many anti-radiation meds as we can fit aboard the ship. Anything that we can replicate as well should be loaded into the computer's core, and whatever latest cellular regeneration technology we can load on board. Because if any of that delta radiation leaks out through, ideally we'll have it shielded, but if anything gets through, I want to be able to nip it in the bud as quickly as possible.
We should also probably just try to sequester most of the crew in a smaller area that we can shield more thoroughly. Obviously, we should make efforts to shield the entire ship, but just as an overabundance of caution.
Well, this is obviously out of game. Is the delta radiation, unless there's a breach in pretty much any of the safety walls in engineering and the rest of the ship, there's no chance that that's going to like bleed through.
We would not say that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So there is even with the shields that we have.
Right.
And I'm not talking about the energy shields. I'm talking about just like the bulkheads. Yeah.
Right. The ship has not been designed for these warp engines.
Nobody had it. Yeah.
To have this delta
The
radiation.
main defense against delta radiation is not generating delta radiation.
Nailed it. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'd like to be over prepared for any doomsday scenarios that may arise, especially since we'll be entirely on our own.
We won't need to continue the radiation once we've broken free of the flotilla, correct? Like, there's no point, and that would actually make us easier to track.
I mean, if you can get the warp engine back to where it's not emitting delta radiation in time while you're generating power, then yeah.
I mean, it's just
It's just a switch, right? Just
Delta on, delta off.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Easy enough.
Install the Delta on-off switch.
And we're done. It's okay.
I know we're going to be busy with preparations, but if I could have a word, Captain, when you have a free moment.
certainly.
Thank you.
I don't think I need anything else from
Okay, Captain Sisko approaches you. Captain Newman,
Captain Cisco.
I assume everything went okay in there?
It went well.
It went well, yes. I have to say, I don't know everything that's going on, Captain, but I know enough to say good luck, sir.
Thank you. I'll take it.
Is there anything I can do for you before you depart?
I think we have everything we need, and anything we don't, my crew will ask for it.
It's a good crew.
They're very proactive.
I like a proactive crew.
Yes.
They keep things from going wrong. Well, Captain, if there's nothing else, it's a pleasure to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you too. I guess the only other thing I could ask for is any advice you may have. I'm still fairly new to command.
So I hear. I have to admit, here, come to my office.
Okay.
Have a seat, Captain. I have to admit, I may have done a quick perusal through your history within Starfleet, and I was shocked to see you in command of the Sovereign class, and then Admiral Davis briefed me.
Mm.
And I understand completely why you're in charge of this ship. As for advice, Captain, trust your crew. Believe in your crew. But don't be afraid to command your crew. And outside of that, Captain, if there's one thing I've learned in reading your file and talking with Admiral Davis, you're not only the right man for the job, you're the only man for the job.
Coming from you, and I also read your file, that means a lot.
Well, Captain, I don't know everything that happened on Tarth, but something happened. And you, sir, are the man to do this. You've got to believe that.
I carried a fair amount of doubt through the last mission and through the untimely demise of the previous Mazu. And in the intervening months, which may not be much time, I've come to peace with where I am. And I no longer lack confidence.
You know, Captain, it's a little thing not many people know about me. Maybe some people do, but I used to lack a lot of confidence too.
Mm.
And I can tell you that only when I started to accept who I was and where I was I really able to grow as a person and as a captain. Just don't be afraid of that growth.
This is what I always wanted. I didn't get it the way I expected.
Yeah, we never get most of all we want the way we expect it. Just happens.
And by all reckoning, I'm fairly good at it. So I've stopped being nervous and second guessing myself. If this mission is successful, so be it. And if I fail, that was the end. But I'm not going to apologize for my own actions from here on out.
Sounds like a great plan, Captain. A note, a last word of advice, if you will.
Please.
Don't fail.
Thank you, sir.
Good luck out there, Captain.
Aye.
Hand out. And you exit into the command.
Before Davis left, I would have asked him if there were any additional records from Stelladon, Hearth, or Zerolus that maybe I hadn't had access to previously, because I need that now.
You could chase him down in the halls and,
Yeah.
and say that.
Yeah.
Why don't you chase him down the halls and say that?
I'll just, Admiral?
Yes.
One more thought I just had. A good deal of the information on Stelladon 4 was not available to me after my mission there. I was wondering if there was any more data or information in Starfleet records that perhaps I might be able to get access to now, that it is pertinent to the current mission.
Not just a personal interest, but a mission interest, correct?
Yeah.
Of course, of course. Lieutenant Commander, this mission is our top priority. You can absolutely have any information you want or need.
I would like all of it.
Send me a list. Actually, send my assistant a list. I have other things to handle, but we can get you taken care of. But send it ASAP, because you will be leaving soon.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
I'm assuming that we have all of the intel possible on the founders and the Jem'Hadar.
Yes. Any intel that Starfleet has
Available,
as of this
period.
point,
Yeah,
yes,
cool.
you're going to have as well.
Cool.
At this point, not a lot, but
Yeah.
As he walks away, I'm making that list. I also request any information on known resources in the explored areas of the Gamma Quadrant, in case we need to pick up some spare things.
Sure.
And send all of that to his assistant.
All right, all sent. Anything else on DS9 before you head back to the ship?
I'd like to visit the chapel real quick.
Okay.
I'm going to just go in, say a good lengthy prayer, and I'm going to go ahead and open that package.
You open the package. It's just a bottle with a blank label on it. You examine the label. You do see in a small corner, you do see what looks like someone kissed the label, and written underneath there in Majoran is "Become and live. Get drunk if you need to," with a K.
I place it gently back and try to rewrap it as back in the box as well as possible. Put it back in the duffel. Is there any kind of well, I assume there is. I'd like to find some kind of post office type.
Sure, you can find something
locale.
like that if you want to ship something.
Yes.
Sure.
To the Prophet's tier on Dinova, and I'm just going to send my medal.
Okay. All right, they will take care of sending that out for you.
And head back to the ship.
Okay.
I'm gonna approach the captain and Morgan.
Okay.
Captain, Commander. The Admiral stated that Admiral Grossich had been taken as an agent up to 3 years ago. So I just want to make sure we have contingencies on our ship whether the Founders could have other agents amongst us. I'd rather someone not use my likeliness to harm others or sabotage our mission, or anyone else's for that matter.
Real quick, where we are, if we're towards the end, then we're doing the blood thing, and we would have that.
I don't think, if I'm right, I don't think they fully developed the test yet. It's close. I can double check that. If anybody on stream, I have no FTL, you're out here. We're near the end of 2371, approaching 72. So I'm not sure we have the test yet.
Okay.
All right, well, look.
Was it the test for the Founders?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can look.
But we would know that it's in the works.
Yes, you would know that they are working on a way to identify changelings.
But and we'll check before. But from what I've been reading, there is a test that is close to being finished, and we will be notified once it is available for wider use.
My Stomar mission, since it is top priority, we would be alerted first.
And from my knowledge, we have, it's not much, but all intelligence as related to the Founders and the Dominion.
Very well. Thank you.
Thank you.
So real quick, looking at Memory Alpha, because that's where you go for Star Trek stuff.
That's true.
Odo suggested it late 2371. Early 2372.
Did you just say that it's late 2371?
It's when it was suggested.
Okay.
Early 2372, Klingons were using blood screens.
Okay.
So we're close, but not quite yet.
Okay. That's what I said, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what you said.
Cool, cool, cool. Cool.
Would we have enough that a clever enough doctor could maybe extrapolate a rough version on his
Maybe
own?
with the information that you've gotten from Starfleet and see it in the Gamma Quadrant, you might be able to figure something out. Yeah.
Okay, cool. If anyone wants to bring that to my attention at some point.
I mean, it's just a thing.
No, you know what? No.
You know what? I'm just going to go back to my new office and just set up shop there at my massage quarters.
It's also your quarters.
Yes, thank you.
Oh yeah, we have the hologram can do it, right?
Yeah,
The hologram already knows. The hologram is actually who invented it.
That would be the best.
I'm really excited.
By the way,
I'm really excited about the feud between the hologram doctor and Cade
And
Oh,
George.
funny.
and George.
Oh, George and I are disabled, and that as soon as I get on board.
It'll be great if him and George and the hologram were like buddies.
Oh my God.
I like him. He's great.
Because they're both grumpy.
Yeah.
Anybody else do anything on DS9? Anything else with that combo, or you want to still continue that combo with the blood testing?
No.
No?
I think.
Okay.
I am going to just sort of in-game my requests and requisition for all the anti-radiation meds and all that kind of stuff. I'd like to use, kind of break up the request a bit, use some of my back channel connections to get them so it's not just like, this ship needs a lot of delta radiation meds. Like, kind of, I don't want to send up any flares. So a few, using some of my old, maybe contacts more so than just like, here is large quantity shipment that might send up a red flag.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's just a big box of hamdingers.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like Mystery Science Theater 3000. This is a big box of hamdingers. That's all it is.
Yeah, we don't need a friend.
All right, so we're heading back to the Mazu, yes?
Just one
Nope.
more quick thing. As I'm mentally making lists and like just sort of going through every single thing, at some point I realize where we are, and I just really quickly calm Cade.
Yes, Chief.
You should get Hasbro ingredients while we're here.
Okay.
Just a thought.
I already got them.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. That was it.
Try to get a bag.
I got them on Bajor. I got them fresh.
He's actually had to get them twice.
Yeah, I ran out of some of the fresh stuff. I had to get it up here again. I've been on Bajor for like the last month. So
Okay. Anything else on DS9? Nope.
I hang out with Odo.
Yeah, I would like to have
I'd like
a
to hang out with
conversation
all the
where he
characters.
tells me about his suggestion for the blood
The
test.
things.
I understand you're going
If
after
anybody,
me.
Honestly,
Oh my God, yes.
if anybody
was
wants to
great.
see the
Thank
constable, you're more than
He's my
welcome to
favorite.
go see the constable.
Honestly, just gathering as much
No,
information
that's-
as we possibly can before we go would not be a bad idea.
Are you stopping by the constable's office?
If anybody
Um,
wants
It's
to.
fine.
I just want to do one thing real quick. Yes,
Okay.
you do want to stop by.
Okay. You go to the constable's office, and you enter. You kind of peek through the door, and sitting in there. Yes,
Constable.
I said yes.
And then I would like to try to read his mind.
I don't think you read fingers.
That's what I'm checking out, man.
Oh yeah. No,
you can
I'm
read the
pretty sure you can't read
Okay.
fingers.
No, but that's what I'm checking out because in theory, I don't know.
Yeah.
actually
Because Troy, because when he met with
Waxana.
Troy,
I don't have any emotions.
she, I think,
Oh, yeah,
was she able
that's
to read him? I think
No,
it
I
wasn't
don't.
enough
I don't
that
think
she's
she
so
could.
fascinated.
But like, yo, my character doesn't know, so I just wanted
exactly.
No,
Okay,
that's
we're
what
establishing
like.
things.
It's a very good question. It's just that like there's definitely a canon.
No, I know,
answer
and I know it
to
because I
this.
just watched it, and also I looked it up earlier last year.
Oh, there you go. All right.
So you're gonna be our detector, our
I can't.
detector.
I can't. But
No,
that's
but
what
that's
I'm.
in reverse.
Oh,
Yeah, if you don't
if
read
you have
someone's
the-
emotions,
can't
then
skip.
they can't be a founder.
You can read everybody else's emotions.
yes,
That guy.
Yes, and so I actually know. He's not a Ferengi.
Keep in mind, you read everybody's emotions, so it takes work to try to focus on like one person kind of thing.
And I'm
It's not like
focusing.
you're reading- yes. From what I read in there, I don't think that you can read changelings. So yeah.
No, but
you're
right, but reverse, negative space.
you're staring.
Thank you. And then I leave.
I bet he love that.
What in the world was that?
Because he would have no idea who she is or what her mission
Just-
is. Just this random security officer who just walked into his office, stared at him, and left. That is fantastic.
He stays there.
Not important.
I mean, it was.
It can't be the first time someone walked in and stared at him.
I would hope that it was.
All these
All right.
Federation types interrupting my day.
Okay, so you all head back to the Mazu,
Yeah.
correct?
Yep.
Cool.
I have to start visualizing the new ship in my head because every time you say it, I'm like, I love a big ship.
No.
Big ship. It's
Big
awesome.
ass ship. Okay, so where do we want to start off, Captain? Do we want to start getting the engines fixed? Do we want to go medical and start with that? Where do you want to start off?
Well, everybody can do their own thing. So I'll command people to do the thing
Okay.
that's
Well,
assigned.
I
to
definitely
them.
think that we would want
So-
to make sure the
shielding is-
was in
yeah,
place before we start trying
Before you start trying to
emit
get
tons of
filtration.
radiation from the
So let's have you two go to medical, and you can start talking about how you're going to handle that. You guys head. You get onto the ship and you start to head towards sick bay. And as you're heading towards sick bay, you stop and realize
Where's sick bay?
I actually would have been looking for you to join this conversation. So can I just like pop up behind them and tell them where it is?
sure. I was looking forward to that, but we can have that happen. Yeah, pop up behind him.
We all
So
kind
you
of we all
guys-
came
you
on the
guys-
ship together, right? So
Yeah. So you guys like stop and do the which way to sick bay.
Can
thing?
we ask the ship where?
I assume so.
I'm not sure.
Computer.
Yes.
Where is sick bay?
And then I answer from behind them.
at the same time.
What she said.
One of you needs to show.
She answers. She tells you where sick bay is.
Thanks, Chief.
And it is actually.
Yeah, I couldn't remember exactly where it was. I don't have my map.
It's on. It's on. one
It
of
tells
the
you, and I go there.
Yeah, it tells you, and you go there.
Yeah.
We can go there while.
Ah, now we know where sick bay is.
Yes. Thank you, computer and Izzy, for confirming those accurate coordinates.
So you head down to sick bay, and it opens up, and it's wow. This place compared to the Mazu, the original Mazu, it is pretty impressive. state of the art, shiny, a lot of room, twice the size at least of what you had on the original Mazu. There are some medical staff walking around. Yeah.
Stia,
Oh, it's actually in the middle.
I think I'm in love.
And rightly so.
Oh,
I mean, you couldn't ask for much finer facilities to work in.
my goodness. Ah. Okay. Well, let's get started. Need reinforced bulkheads around the warp core itself.
Here's what I was thinking. Engage technical jargon that may not make sense in real life, but it doesn't matter. Okay.
Yes,
so
of
what I
course,
was
but
thinking-
also things that would
No, no,
occur
I
with someone's
actually-
physiology.
What
that
I was thinking is instead of a passive defensive mechanism, I think perhaps if I imagine the ship has hopefully surplus power, if we could divert a little bit of extra power to actively charge with an active neutralizing ionizing field for the radiation. So we're not just passively defending against it, but actively isolating it. So you get a little, you see what I'm saying?
Absolutely,
Kind of a passive
yeah.
barrier and actual active neutralization
Yes.
of the within the hull of the ship.
Would we need a way to basically, if there were any fluctuations in the delta patterns themselves, the ionizing field would have to react on its own. I don't think we would be able to manually modulate.
No, that is true. We would need to make sure that there was not too much latency that couldn't compensate.
Yeah, agreed. All right, let's get to
We
work.
probably need to check just, I guess, suppose with Izzy to make sure that the ship can spare the extra power for an active system such as
we
that.
will make it.
Yeah.
Jared.
Oh, did you come with us?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
you did?
Yeah. I do that and hear it behind me.
No, they asked where it was, and I was like, "It's decade this way," because
You,
this was
you didn't say this way though. You just said decade, and then they win.
Yeah.
So all right, but you're with them
So you
now.
came with us. So I was-
You're with them now.
I probably had my head down the pad and you didn't
Yeah,
notice
probably.
that I was arranging.
It's gonna be your thing right now. You just show up.
6-foot blue person with antenna. We need to put a bell on you.
You asked where it was. I was.
You
right
told us and we
behind
came.
you.
I didn't-
Morganth is somewhere very proud.
I'm not a quiet person. I don't understand. Anyway,
Apparently, anyway.
Now, of course, the danger is with an active system, should any kind of power loss occur, there goes our defenses. So we may want at least
Well, we are going to want a strong bulkhead
correct.
at the very least, so that even if the ionizing field goes
At
down,
least a basic passive system as a backup to
yes,
the active system.
yes, agreed. Would we be able to divert anything from? What systems would we be able to divert power from? Would that come from the ship's shields itself, or would that be?
we would just need to shift extra power into shielding in general for the process. Basically, we'll be shutting off everything that isn't engines, weapons, shielding, and scanners.
Could this function in any way, or could we make this adjunct to the security fields, the force fields that?
Yes, I think we
drop
could do
the
that.
cord
That
off.
was why I was recommending that we actually condense the crew into limited spaces so that we can fortify a limited number of areas with that fail-safe shielding. Possibly even replicate some physical barriers that are not dependent upon power reserves.
Do we have large enough common areas that we could consolidate people in those?
There are
numbers?
sections of the ship that are already hardened against naturally occurring heavy radiation. Again, delta radiation is worse than anything we would normally encounter naturally, but we can start with those areas and then just give them extra protection.
Okay, so
I
we're
mean-
going to need to either requisition or generate plating to put up around, I think, both the warp core and to reinforce any of those common areas, and most definitely the bridge, since
Yes.
we'll be.
Bridge, sick bay, and there are
How many
several
zones
other
are you thinking?
centralized zones that are, again, intended to work as shelters against naturally occurring high radiation.
How many of
hazards.
them are there?
There are a dozen built into the ship. I think we should
How many do you think we'll need to?
focus on fewer. What is the crew complement now?
I don't know off the top of my head.
No.
Do we have a full complement?
Oh yeah. Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Here's an idea I just had a thought.
Mhm.
If we can focus the plating around the warp engines themselves on this, so we want to defend the interior of the ship from the delta radiation.
Yes.
If we can focus the plating such that it diverts that energy back outward, then we're effectively doubling the perceived energy emitted. So that we're not only protecting ourselves, but we're also diverting that energy outward so that there's even more cloaking, per se, or more of the masking effect we're looking for.
Well, would it create? And my question to you would be: would the concentration create that doubling effect, or would we need to compensate for that in order to not have look at this giant spike of delta radiation? Basically, if the levels of delta radiation that we're needing to generate to mask ourselves, if we pass a certain threshold, would we then just register on their sensors anyway as an anomaly of delta
Let's
radiation?
say whatever the figure is that we need to generate to mask
Yes.
ourselves. If
We might not
do it,
need-
then
yeah.
we could do it at half the generated delta.
That's what I was thinking. Yes.
So that's the less delta we have to generate, I think, the better. We're all agreed.
Absolutely. Okay, well, let's check with Morganth on the status of the force fields, because if we need to redivert any of those, it would have to go through her department.
I'll make some calculations as to exactly how the geometry involved in diverting the energy back outward.
Good. And we should get started on any of the plating that we're going to have to build ourselves. Izzy, can you isolate which shelter areas you want to designate?
Yes.
I think the farthest away from the warp core itself.
Yes.
We want to, because I think if we reinforce that, but allowing for any leakage, we then want to reinforce the bulkheads of the shelters themselves, but keep it as far, and then just keep people out of those corridors while we're in transit
I definitely
in
think,
order to maximize your
due to the
plan.
nature of our mission being so isolated and alone, hopefully the whole crew will be on board with. We may have to forego some of the usual luxuries of a ship this size and use personal areas for storage, or as mentioned, you'll try to keep concentrated into smaller areas of the ship than we would normally do in the course of
Right.
a daily.
And this would be the largest generation that we're going to have is during that first leg of the trip. I
Yeah.
think once we're over there and we can decrease the delta radiation a bit.
And do I understand it is your hopeful intention to have a system that hopefully then we can, once we've gotten where we need to go, we can not be generating all the extra delta radiation
Oh,
anymore?
absolutely. We'll be turning that off as soon as we can. If we continue to bleed delta radiation, that will just be a giant flag announcing our presence, especially if they figure out that someone did leave from that flotilla. The crew complement is 885.
885, maximum capacity is 2,500. All right. We have,
Solid.
we have our jobs. So what is your role in this, Dion?
Well, I think the first leg is configuring the plating around the engines so that it hopefully we can reach the outward levels of radiation with less generated radiation. So we're protecting the innards of the ship while diverting it
Right.
outwards.
You were talking, I may have missed when I was looking something up. You were talking about an active defense against delta radiation.
Yes,
Is
we
that
were
still a
talking as
thing?
well.
Is that still something that's going to happen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Give me a check. Let's do reason and science check. Difficulty of. Let's do difficulty 1. Reason and science difficulty 1.
Does he get an assist or?
Nope.
Okay.
Rolling 2.
Oh, rolling two.
It's been a while,
It has to roll. I was already thinking about like, oh, we don't have any room to buy, so I was already like,
huh? You can always give threat.
that's true, but I feel all right. That would be two successes. Two
Good.
successes.
So you got 1 momentum out of the deal. Okay, you're able to figure out what you would need in order to make that defense happen. as far as an active defense goes. The plating itself, interestingly enough, part of the resupply, they have stocked the Mazu with a certain amount of plating in case there needs to be any repairs to the hull while you're out there. So you actually do have extra plating that you can use to maneuver in strategically placed locations.
Let's double check. Double successes are only on a 1, correct? Unless you use a focus.
Yes. Yeah.
Does our fancy new ablative armor shield against
Delta
you said?
radiation?
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got that. Cade, what were you working on?
I was going to consult with Morganth about the use of the force field generators to deploy the ionized field that he was talking about to counteract.
Okay.
Basically, coating any of the plating and bulkheads that we either install or reinforce.
So when you talk about the force field, are you talking about like the containment fields on the interior of the Mazu
Yes.
itself? Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Just so I'm clear.
Using that, we were talking about like where we would need to redivert power from, and I think like because of the mechanism itself, the easiest one is those interior.
So Morganth, Cade has given you the pitch.
How much power would need to be diverted?
Based on our current calculations, this much for this amount of time to 50 ergs over a course of 30 parsecs.
I'm gonna say for game's sake, it will to initiate an active supply. It'll cost 1 power from the ship.
1 power.
1 power.
So basically,
But-
we're taking the power that is normally sent to all of the internal force fields all over the ship, and concentrating them
Yeah.
in certain
Yeah.
spaces.
And this is where, but this is where we'll have the crew.
Yes. And also, we'll generate some of it there and some of it near the bulkhead where the warp core is itself, where the bulk of the radiation is being generated. The upside of this is that since all the crew will be
Right.
confined, we won't need necessarily to cordon off any.
It will be
corridors.
serving its purpose.
Exactly. If anybody is running
And
about
then
those corridors anyway, then
as soon as possible, once we've made it through,
we'll redivert it to its intended purpose.
I think that's acceptable.
Thank you.
What I'd like you to do, Cade, if you can give me a reasoned medicine check with difficulty of 1.
Okay. That's 2 successes. Make sure I can't use any of my focuses. No, yeah, 2 successes.
Okay, so you'll get 1 momentum out of that. Basically, with conversations you've had with Morganth and with Steon's done some of the work. You have been able to get together, and between the two of you, with your knowledge of delta radiation, his knowledge of adjusting the shielding, you're able to come up with a plan to make that work within the interior force field generators on the ship. It will take 1 power once it's turned on. So once it's turned on, you're going to lose 1 power on the ship. But that will be a thing that happens. Let's jump to engineering, because Izzy, you head down to engineering.
By the way, I'm down there,
You're down in engineering as well?
I was
I'm
going to
like-
go down there too.
leaning
Yeah.
against the panel, just with my legs crossed, just like hanging out, waiting for it to
Just
come.
kind of hanging out, waiting.
Nah, yeah, watch
You know
me
what?
work.
Let's actually change this a little bit. You're coming into engineering with Captain and Tashek down there, and Delaran's. We're gonna do what to the engines?
Oh,
Something real nasty.
Oh, hey there, Commander. What are we doing to the engines?
We need to make it look like our engines are malfunctioning and generating a. Well, first off, we need to make it look like our engines are Ferengi engines that are malfunctioning and generating a large quantity of delta radiation. And then we need to be able to turn it off quickly.
Delta radiation.
Delta.
And why?
Because maybe the Dominion sensors can't read through it.
Great. Hey, you know what? Commander, you point me a direction, I'm gonna go do it.
For the record, it wasn't my idea. These are the orders we were given.
Oh, is it a good idea?
I don't No, let's figure it out.
Great.
It's a necessary idea.
I mean, I don't have to remind you all what delta radiation does to people.
No, you don't.
Okay.
It
All
just
right.
blasts right through and breaks everything.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, well, hey, if we're going to turn the Mazu into a delta radiation generating machine, we might as well get to it, huh?
We also need to figure out how to do this without irradiating the crew operating the engines. So we should figure that out as well. Let's get a team together and let's start thinking.
Right, we're gonna work the problem. We're
Yeah.
gonna make this happen. Let's do this. Hey T, he wanders off. You see him rattling up people, getting them in position.
We have the usual folks.
The usual folk. Is Delaran's starting to talk, and then he looks back and he says, "Commander, we're here for you."
I know you are.
Yeah, isn't that right,
Yes.
team? They're like, yeah. Come on.
We've been over this. Y'all are the best. We're gonna do the thing because we have to.
Commander. Just leaves. Getting to work. So we're going to see what the modifications are going to look like. So I'm going to need you to do a check to get these modifications in place. First things first, let's get a check to...
Can I get just a second to
Yeah.
chat?
Yeah.
Let's do some role playing. Let's do some
Yeah.
role playing.
He's rounding up the crew. What's up?
Well, Izzy, I assume you know why I am in engineering as opposed to bridge or medical or operations.
Are you here to assist with the preparations?
As much as I can, given my expertise is more in science than engineering.
Well, engineering is applied science.
It is, and I have some knowledge there, so I am availing myself to you. Also, this is the most difficult piece of this first part of our mission.
Yes,
And I feel I need to be here for it.
I appreciate that, sir.
I'll stay out of your way unless you need me.
All right, feel free to chime in if you have any ideas. This is a very cooperative environment.
I will.
Like a Montessori school down there.
I'll approach you as well, like,
Yeah.
since I'm down there. I was with the other group. Commander, I as well just wanted to offer any assistance I can, and I would like to better understand the changes. So down here, so I
Absolutely.
understand what I need to do.
I'm actually glad you were here. I was going to request your presence if you weren't. Yeah, so we will need to be able to undo this change as quickly and thoroughly as possible once we go to warp, and I need to make sure that you are fully involved so you know what the engines can and cannot do.
We'll also have to make 3
While
consecutive
this is
warps.
Yes, that is very concerning. So the ships. So are we supposed to be leaving as fast as possible each time that we warp?
Yes, we.
So under normal parameters, we should be able to jump over warp 9. But whatever modifications we make may disrupt function enough that we can't hold those speeds.
Quick metagame reminder, when you hit warp speed, the power cost to go to warp is the
So
maximum.
we'll have to
Yeah. So
super duper generate. And we, as you may have noticed, don't have as much power as we are accustomed to on the Constellation class.
I do have a question.
Yes.
I believe I already know the answer, but if we do not cut off the delta radiation before we go to warp, what can we expect? Or is it even possible to go to warp without that radiation
It
being cleared up?
should be possible to go to warp.
it's possible to go to warp.
Yeah, we'll be able to go to warp. It's just that as
The entire time we're traveling, we'll be dumping the radiation because we can't.
yes.
I see.
So while the delta radiation will effectively be making enough noise to mask our presence for from sensors. We will just look like part of the nasty cloud surrounding a weird Ferengi flotilla. So if they take off in one direction and we take off in another,
It leaves a trail.
it will leave 2 trails.
Yes.
So we will need to.
So, first of all,
Stop
leave a
that
trail so they
radiation.
can follow us, and secondly, the whole time we're traveling, the dangerous radiation will be
Yes.
spreading throughout the ship,
Yes.
flying through all objects.
Yeah.
Okay, just wanted to talk it out.
What could go wrong?
I love this plan. I'm
Well,
excited to be a
also-
part of it.
On that note, we'll also need to make sure that all of our critical supplies and materials are in those sheltered areas as well. We don't want to
Oops, we
turn
forgot
it
to
off
shield the
and
food.
accidentally
Yeah.
irradiate the food.
Are there any species that are less apt to be?
Not that I know.
Okay. I didn't think so. Just throwing it out
Yeah.
there. If they are, they're probably not part of Starfleet. They're probably some kind of
Yeah.
Tyrannosaurus from a space planet that can't talk and is not conscious.
All right, let's see if we can figure out how to get the delta radiation rolling. So I'm going to need a reason and engineering check from you.
Okay.
You can get an assist from either Newman, Tashek, or Delran.
It's probably good.
What was it? Reason and engineering.
Reason and engineering. Difficulty is going to be 3.
My reason
roll
of
down.
engineering is
Oh, just pick. Don't look at your numbers. Just pick.
no. This is important. I'm gonna say it's Delorand without
Yeah.
looking.
Okay.
I'm not gonna look at Delorand's stats. I'm sure his engineering is better than mine.
All right. Delran has reason and engineering.
Yeah, let's do Delaran.
Okay,
reason
difficulty
engineering.
3.
Okay, so we get an assist from Delaran. Can I also get an assist from the ship computers?
Yes. I'll let you do a ship assist.
Alright.
Ship assist, let's do.
Computers and
No,
engineering.
let's do engines and engineering.
Engines, same thing. Engines.
Okay.
Okay. So
So you're going for 13. If you'll roll that for me, please.
Engineering.
And I'm going to go ahead and because this is the thing to figure out how we're
I
doing.
mean, this is
right?
part of the thing.
yeah, it's a pretty important piece.
Pretty
Let's
important
go
piece.
ahead.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'll be buying.
Difficulty 3. You got a bunch of that for all.
You can look this way.
Yeah.
Add to his pile of
Okay,
42
reason
thread.
engineering. Yeah, that's nice.
I didn't beat it.
That's 4.
We're trying to get under, right?
4?
I evened up.
Actually, and is this warp technology?
Yeah.
All right.
You know, I realized that on that
That's why she's
roll,
the chief.
I forgot what we were playing, and I actually did get 2 successes.
You have 7 total successes on this? Is that
no.
what-
I meant on previously.
Oh, on the previous one. Oh, got it.
Darts.
Okay,
I
so
hit
5. So 2 momentum out of this.
Okay.
2 momentum.
Captain just walks up, throws a bullseye, and walks away.
I hit the board.
So you
Cannon
figure
now.
out what you need to make the changes, if you will, to get that. Unfortunately, I'm going to spend a little threat here. Delaran's looking at the numbers. Hey, Commander.
And he feels threatened by the numbers.
Yeah.
Numbers bad.
I don't think we're going to be able to shut this off remotely.
I was afraid of that.
I mean, we can shut it off. I can do that. That's not a problem. But I'm just not going to be able to do it from over there in the saucer section. But hey, you know, it's a little problem, right? We're just gonna deal
When
with
you
it.
say we can't shut it off remotely, will we be able to create a shielded area here from which we can shut it off?
Well, we can try. Hey, you know what? It's just another part of the problem. We're just working the problem. We're
working the problem.
that's all we're doing. We're just working the problem. That's fine. Speaking of which,
It'll work.
let's see if we can figure out the shielding situation. So I do want to get another check from you. It's going to be kind of an engineering check. Let's do daring and engineering on this.
Get daring with it.
Good thing I didn't reduce that.
Yeah, let's do daring and engineering. We'll give an assist here as well. Because of the complication of not being able to do it remotely, we're going to up the difficulty as well. Difficulty is going to be 3 on this one.
Okay.
Delran's going to give you an assist.
So I am buying a die on that one,
And we can
And
get ship
this
assist
is-
as well.
and shielding and ship assist.
We'll get a ship assist as well.
Okay.
Same
and
deal.
same.
For this one, Structure and
Yeah, I
engineering.
was going to say structure and engineering, so it's 12.
Okay.
And you said I'm doing daring and engineering?
Yep.
Can I call this either power systems or reverse engineering?
No.
How about shipboard tactical systems?
No.
All right, so that's 3.
3. You think for the ship?
Nah,
No.
ship's stupid.
So, hey.
Did we get any momentum off that one?
No. So, hey, Commander. Hey, I think we can probably put some shielding up that's going to protect the crew. It could protect somebody down here.
Mm-hmm.
Could, maybe. Maybe.
Nobody knows for sure.
I mean, there's one way to find out, right?
Just put up some heavy.
Hey, this is all about exploring.
Yep.
We're expanding our
Those wacky
horizons.
little bulkheads.
I mean, this is the first of many risks that we're going to be taking.
Right? See,
So,
that's a great way to look at it, right?
yeah.
It's a great way to look at
We will definitely be minimizing personnel down here.
it. Sure.
Mhm.
That's all right, though. I'll take care of it. It's fine. All right.
Preferably people who don't want to have children.
You seem concerned, Commander. What's up?
Oh, I'm just not in favor of putting any of my crew at risk that I'm not taking myself.
Hey, Commander. We know the risk.
I know.
And you know what? We appreciate you. You're going to be fine. We're all going to be fine.
We'll make it work.
Let's just get to work, right? We're going to get to work. Hey, people, let's get to work. Let's do this. Let's do this.
Besides, risk is our occupation.
Let's jump back down to medical real quick.
Cool.
Door opens up. You see a big Tellarite walking in. Notice pips on his collar. Ah, look who showed up.
Hey, you miss me?
I didn't say that.
Well, you wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't. Absolutely not. I wouldn't miss you. Of course not.
No, you wouldn't say it.
Whatever. Well, you're on the ship. What do you think?
This is gorgeous.
I got it ready for you.
This is just, I mean, Stian and I came in earlier. I just fell right in love with it. It's
Right?
so
Yeah,
beautiful.
it's kind of the thing. Well, enjoy it. Your office is right over there. I don't know if you've been in your office yet.
I have an office?
You have you have an office. Come over here. Hold on. Here's your office.
Did I have an office on the other ship?
No.
No,
Okay,
the sick
just-
bay is so much bigger than
I
this one.
just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, no. There's your office. See, you got a desk right there. It's pretty nice, isn't it?
I could put stuff on it.
Yeah, you could. I put stuff on my desk too.
You have a desk?
Well, of course I have a desk.
That's good. Okay.
Because-
yes.
I'm the ship's counselor. So, yeah, I have a desk.
Yeah, you are.
It's
Yeah,
right
you
over
do.
there. Yeah, I'm actually right next to yours. It wasn't my idea,
Okay,
but it's
good.
what we had.
Well, no, it'll make coming to sessions easier. So.
True story. I can just pound on the bulkhead and you'll hear it hopefully unless you're just asleep or not paying attention or something. Anyway, whatever. Welcome aboard.
Good
Hey,
to
Eddie! EMH pops up. That's not my name.
You named him it.
Come on, let's go. He's like, oh, God, I don't want to. This is not a medical emergency. Who cares? Get in here. He leads him into his office, and he's got a little three-dimensional chest thing sitting up there. Like, sit down, sit down. He's like, this is not my designed purpose. Don't care. Sit down. You need anything?
No, you two have fun.
Yeah, you too. You too. It's your move.
Probably out, not your area anymore. We might have some extra gear and equipment coming in.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of that happening, yeah. What's up with all that?
Well, for the forthcoming mission, we're going to need some safeguards against radiation poisoning and,
Do we dive in through a star or something?
no, not a star. We're just going to be, going through a wormhole. So,
Well, that happens. People go through wormholes all the time.
Sure, but once we're on the other side, we're going to be emitting a great deal of delta radiation throughout the ship.
I'm sorry, what?
To mask our presence.
I'm sorry, what?
No, it's okay.
I'm sorry.
We're working on the
sorry,
shielding.
what?
So it's delta radiation.
Is this a medical emergency? It will be.
It will be.
Hold on.
Yes. So, yes.
No,
No.
you can't do that.
Well, we need to.
But that's crazy.
It's mission critical.
Mission critical. Starfleet missions, right? Starfleet missions, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
Starfleet. We get missions.
Yeah, but we don't get stupid missions. Well, no, we actually
We kind of do. Yeah. Well, I mean, us in particular. So.
All right, Eddie, maybe hang out. Can you stop calling me Eddie? No. Have you met Eddie?
I haven't met Eddie yet.
Eddie, this is Chief Medical Officer Caden Nahil. Do you have a medical emergency?
Not at the moment. No.
Can I go away now?
George summoned you, so I think it's up to him to dismiss you.
It's okay. We'll focus on medical stuff. All right, Delta radiation. Sure, we'll make it work. Y'all are crazy.
We're developing. Well, we've developed a pretty good shielding system, but when the gear comes on board, I just need to sort out. We're gonna have a lot of anti-radiation meds to store and have at the ready, and hopefully before we leave, be able to enhance some of the cellular regeneration capabilities.
Hopefully you don't need it.
So hopefully you don't need it, but we will have it.
Yeah, of course. I'm just the ship's counselor, so have fun. It's your move.
You two have fun. I missed you, by the way.
Yeah, whatever.
Also, at some point, you may discover that there is actually a secondary sickbay. If you look.
Okay, anything else we want to get done? We figured out how to put the shielding on. We figured out how to do an active defense against it, which is going to take 1 power. So once that kicks on, we're going to lose 1 power. Because you're involved with that, let's actually see how much you learned from that. Give me a quick check. Give me a, what do I like with that?
He pointed at me, right?
No.
Oh, it was Lauren?
Lauren.
Okay, cool.
Daring and con, difficulty 1.
Okay. 3.
3 successes?
Yeah.
You're hardcore. Give 2 more momentum. Because of that, I'm going...
I have to use my focuses for that. Right, if it's under your...
Yes.
Oh, wait. So it might only be 2.
That's fine.
Starship Tactics?
No.
Oh. I'll just say 2 then.
We'll just say 2. Because of that, I'm going to decrease the... Tell you what, because of that, let's change it. Because I said it increased the difficulty by 2. Let's switch it. Let's change it to the complication range by 2. You're able to work with her to figure out how that's going to affect the propulsion.
Okay.
So we're just going to switch it around. I think complication range by 2 instead of difficulty by 2.
Nice.
Okay. So, Captain, unless there's anything else.
I wanted to meet with, before we take off, I did want to have a little private confab with the captain if I could, so
Sure.
I'll swing by his quarters.
Oh, he's on the bridge at this point.
Okay.
I have a ready room.
Yeah. Captain, before we depart, if I could have a moment of your time.
Of course,
In
Chief
private.
Medical Officer. We'll head into the
Sure.
ready room.
I know you've at least taken a look at my file. I have a rather personal history with the Dominion. They slaughtered my people. They killed my mentor without provocation or aggression. They just swept in and wiped them out. That was the reason I initially joined I feel that I'm up for this mission, but I also know if it seems like I'm compromised at any point, I don't want you to hesitate. Just relieve me. Send me to the brig. Lock me down, stun me, whatever you need. If I'm putting the mission or the crew at risk because my feelings get in the way.
What are you imagining that you may do?
Just if there's a situation where I honestly don't know. It's the situations I can't imagine that worry me. I feel like I've certainly learned and grown a lot in my time aboard the last Mazu. And I knew confrontation with the Dominion was inevitable. That's why I joined in the first place, but my reasons for staying changed. And now the thing I wanted seems my particular path is leading me there anyway. I would hope that I'm strong enough if a moment should come, but I want to know that if a moment comes that I should pose a threat, that I provoke some action, that I move to fight when we should be fleeing, that I can rest assured that you'll keep everyone else safe from me.
Cade, you've been through a lot. More than I think maybe anyone on the ship, and we've all had tragedies befall us at this point. You're concerned that your emotions will overtake you. Your emotions are one of the things that make you you. And I think regardless of what happened in your past, you would have them rule you at times. And you fear that this will happen again in a mission critical way, somehow that you will compromise us with your emotions, which leads me to believe that you're trying to control them, that you're trying to not let them rule you without some input from the part of your brain that's aware of the situation. You coming to me leads me to believe that this is a problem you have now identified and you want to work on it. And of course, I will help you with that. And perhaps the counselor can help you with that as well.
Oh, I'm counting on him too.
And as a last word, whenever in the past, when you got emotional and tried to tell me how to do my job or compromise us because the enemy was in our face and we were trying to parley with them, when have I stopped to let you go on and compromise the mission? You don't have to worry about that.
I just wanted to be sure.
You know where the brig is. Or do you?
I actually don't. So I don't know where the new brig is. I didn't even know where the new sick bay is.
Please,
do you know I have an office now?
Yes, I knew you had an office. I've
amazing.
walked around the ship quite a bit. I suggest you find out where the brig is, because you may end up going there quite a bit.
Thank you, sir.
Get back to work.
Thank you.
I actually would like to have a brief conversation with both of you.
As he's leaving the ready room.
Bell.
So the situation with shielding.
You can both come in the room.
I'm move out of the way. Let me.
No, I need to discuss the shielding situation in engineering.
Okay.
We will have to have personnel down there to make the necessary changes. And I wanted to discuss with you how best to ensure that we don't have to sacrifice an engineer in order to do it. There is a secondary, smaller sick bay that is closer to engineering. I would like to request that the EMH be on standby in that location.
Agreed.
And as far as personnel goes, I would like to limit it to 2, sir, and I would like to be one of them. But I feel this is high enough risk that I need to have your sign off.
How high is the risk?
If all of our shielding works as expected, low, but
You can also
many
stock
things
whatever bunker or compartment that you and your team are working out of. Make sure you're stocked with a significant amount of anti-rad meds.
preemptive dosage would also probably be.
Absolutely.
If the shielding failed, what's the likelihood of survival?
Well, depending on which level of shielding fails, quite low. Our radiation, like the standard issue radiation suits, would be.
Not great. What level of expertise do you expect to require to complete this portion of the mission?
Well, if everything goes according to plan, it doesn't need to be especially high. You just need to be able to input some basic commands. The problem is if something serious goes wrong, it would need to be very high level.
This mission likely will fail if you're not here. If I lose you in the first moments, imagine what may happen.
I thought you might say that.
No, this is command. This is the hard part.
Alright. I need to speak with some of my crew and ask for 2 volunteers then. It will be some of our higher ranked, it will be some of our officers. I simply cannot have someone with less expertise.
I understand. And I do not want to put you in this position, but I have little choice considering what we're about to do and how dangerous it will be after this moment.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Alright.
Can you prepare the second sick bay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so EMH is going to be on standby in the second bay.
Yes, and priming it with necessary procedures so it doesn't have to spend a lot of time
Oh yeah,
processing. I know it's a computer and it's super fast, but just in, like any lag time.
that's fine. Yeah.
And then I'll make any necessary modifications to the orders that we put in to make sure there's enough meds down there and one of the cellular regenerators.
You stock that with enough, what you would think would help with potential exposure for 2 engineers. It sounds like there's going to be 2 people down there at the time, as well as that. So you get that stocked.
And prepared dosages for preemptive.
Sure, preemptive dosages down as well. Preparations are well underway. Shielding is getting in place. Modifications are done to the onboard force fields, so we can have an active system set up. Unless there's anything else, ready to make the run through the wormhole.
I will have that conversation with my senior engineers.
You're down there, and Delaware says, "This is great, Lieutenant. I mean, Lieutenant Commander, I understand. I already got this. You don't got to worry about it. It's fine. We've got this under control."
You want to know more?
Yeah, we already talked about it.
You got it?
Yeah, we got it under control. Come on, Commander. Who's got you?
You do, and I have you.
Yeah, I know. It's all good. It's all good. We're ready to roll. We're ready to roll, Commander. Let's make this happen.
Let's do it.
Where do you need me during the flight?
Sick bay.
Yes, sir.
Everything ready?
Mhm.
Okay. You're going to be in sick bay. Most of the rest of the staff is going to be in the saucer section. Bridge. Is there anywhere you want to be, or just on bridge?
Gotta be the bridge if I can't be in engineering.
Pretty much right.
If there's any way, I know this is a bit of an indulgence, but can I have the view screen image channeled down to one of the viewers?
Of course.
I'd like to see the wormhole as we pass through.
Certainly. You can. You have access to that anytime you like. You don't need to. You don't need to wait for us to turn the main screen on.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right. You signal to the Ferengi flotilla that you're ready to go. You do see that there are 6 Ferengi ships going out. Sensors reading that there is heavy delta radiation coming off of them.
Man, what are they paying these guys?
I mean, they're Ferengi, so
I know, it's got to be a lot though.
Yeah.
And they may have a connection on the base that does stuff. I don't know. Anyway, Mazu releases from DS9 and heads into position in the center of the 6 Ferengi ships heading into the wormhole. As a reminder, the way this is going to work, once you go through the wormhole, you hit warp 4 to go along with the ships. Once you're in warp, you're going to increase speed to warp 6 and change direction. Drop out of warp, fire torpedoes, see if there's any Jem'Hadar around, and go fast as warp. Starfleet Intelligence says that second warp needs to be 7.
4, 6, 7.
Yeah, 4, 6, 7. Got to do another one. You're going to drop out again.
Okay.
Starfleet Intelligence suggests warp 7 if at all possible to make sure.
But we gotta turn off the delta radiation while we're in warp 4 with the Ferengi.
Gonna have to try if you want to completely.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So you're in position. Anything else we need to talk about?
Who's doing the catering?
We'll have tacos. It'll be great.
So warp 4 torpedoes, warp 7 torpedoes, warp 7 if possible.
Yes. Technically,
You still
warp
have
4,
the taco
warp
truck
6.
on board.
but
Warp
yes.
4, warp 6, warp 7.
Yeah.
And there's also a turn off of the delta radiation
Turn off's gonna
during 4.
during
Yeah,
4.
right
During
before we hit
4.
6.
Yeah. All right.
If you can.
Second is off.
Because
Sounds
once we,
fine.
like, if we warp out at 6 and we're still trailing the radiation, that's a problem.
In all fairness, keep in mind it's going to be very hard to change the warp engines while in warp. So
Right.
it's
But
going to
So
be difficult.
ideally, because we'll have to drop out of 4. Are we dropping out of 4
Just
before we go
punch
to
it.
6?
Punch it up.
We just punch it.
Well, if we have to wait until after that jump, we can, but we can try.
You will have, to give you a metagaming thing, you will have a certain amount of time
Mhm.
to jump again.
Like 5 minutes.
A few checks. Because power management's going to be super important. You're going to be doing a lot of power to get the engine back
Yeah,
up.
so basically, Delaran will be flipping the big switches and I will be doing power regen.
Pretty much, yes. Stian, you on the ship, you're going to be doing sensor sweeps to make sure Nobody's following you. No worries, right? It's all good. All right.
Yeah, you get to fly and you get to shoot stuff. You hang out.
Yeah.
Unless something happens.
Yeah, I'm going to. Well, in
Well.
addition to the view screen, especially after like once we're past that and like religious awe is over, I'd like to monitor for any leaks.
Sure. Yep.
And I'll sit in a cool chair.
Look awesome. Okay, so you're approaching the Alpha Quadrant terminus. As you approach, the wormhole pops open. There's a flash of light. You see this wormhole open up in front of you. The Ferengi ships know the course. They start to move in, and you're matching course along with them. You match course along and enter the Alpha terminus of the wormhole, and just shooting through this wormhole. Nothing. Any of you have ever experienced anything like this before. It's a totally new experience for any of you who are seeing this. Before too long, you pop out on the Gamma Quadrant terminus. You get a predetermined signal from the Ferengi flotilla, and there's a countdown to enter warp. Countdown's going. Con, we are going to do your check for going to warp. Difficulty is going to be 0 again for this, but your complication range is increased by 2. Okay? And this first one is going to be warp 4. You're also switching on the active deflector for the delta radiation, so lose a power for the active.
Okay, so delta deflector costs 1.
Mhm.
What was the other thing that cost 1? The shielding costs 1.
Well, it's the same thing.
No, it's the same thing.
Oh, it's the same thing. Exactly.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
okay,
just
okay.
one.
Sorry.
This one. Okay, so let's do a check.
What am I rolling?
You're going to warp, so that is going to be control and con.
Can I say the thing before she rolls it?
Absolutely.
Engage.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna buy 1 die with momentum.
Okay.
Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3.
3 successes. So get 3 momentum out of the deal.
I like that.
Can you
pop-
check momentum? Because I'm going to be using
Yeah.
power.
I got it.
2, 3.
So you're popping to warp 4. That's going to take 4 power.
Towards me. This is good.
Now, you are wanting to switch off the delta radiation cloak, if you will, while in flight. Yes?
That would be ideal.
Okay. Difficulty is going to be... Difficulty is really, on this, is going to have to be 4.
Okay.
It's really tough to do it in flight.
So
Delaran is in engineering. He has one other officer down there
Right.
with him, and they're
Ship.
really working on
can
it.
Chip help?
Huh?
Can Chip help?
Chip's not going to help with this one. This
Okay.
is a manual deal.
So we have a bunch of momentum.
Mhm.
So let's spend 1 for 1 more die,
Okay.
and then 2 for 1 more die,
Yep.
and then that's as far as we can go. How many die do we have right now?
That would be 4. So you've got 1 assist. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. So 5 die total.
And what are we rolling against?
Difficulty's 4.
You want to give him a treat? Give him a treat? A treat?
Threat.
Give him-
Oh, that's how it's
It would
pronounced?
be.
A T-Rex?
You'd have to give me 3 threat.
Give you 3 threat for one
One more
die.
die.
Well, could we give you 2 momentum and a threat? It'd have to be 3 threats.
I feel like this is very
Yeah.
important.
Okay, so this is to switch off the delta radiation.
This is switch off the delta radiation.
Yeah.
Okay, so we went to warp. That's 4, and then we've got the shielding up, so that's another 1.
Yes, you've used
To
5
this,
so far.
Yeah, you 5.
Yes.
We have 2 momentum, right?
You still have 2 momentum.
Could
I mean, could we
I-
have bought the first one with threat? So 1 threat and then started buying them using momentum to buy?
That
I don't,
is true.
I don't think so.
It's still 3 for 1.
I don't.
No,
It's still 3 for 1 die on threat.
Still 3 for
I
1.
have a
Okay. So it does
talent
make a difference.
where I
Okay.
can spend 1 determination to add 3 momentum to our pool,
As long as it fits your values.
right? And I am an eternal optimist.
So vague.
Oh, you should have made us narrow it down.
Let's see if it's something that's a little more prescient as a threat before I'll do that, because I feel we need something to trigger this.
Sure.
Okay, so you've given a total of 5 die to roll. So Delaran's getting 1,
wonder
2,
if I have
3,
any.
4, 5.
I wonder if I have any dauntless. No.
Or
No.
actually, yeah, here we go.
No.
All right, I'm rolling.
Okay.
And then is there a ship assist?
No.
No.
I don't like that face.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a. I don't like this because. Well, the ship blows up.
Why do you keep re-rolling?
You immediately run into a Gemidor.
Who fires on
Yeah.
May have rolled a complication.
Okay.
We can buy that.
I want to. Buy the complication off?
How many? Is it 1 or 2?
2 to get the complication.
Okay, we'll buy that off.
Okay, remember you got a lot of power to regenerate too, so.
I got some stuff.
Okay, you get a call up from engineering. It's like, hey, Commander,
What's up?
Delta radiation's off, but remember that 3 threat you gave me? We've got a pretty significant power drain. You're going to lose 2 power out of that. It didn't quite work as planned, but
Well, at least nobody's dying of radiation.
Delta radiation's off right now. There's still a little ambient. Don't really want to move if that's okay with you.
Yeah, no, stay put.
great.
I would like to do my first regen power.
Regenerate power
So
check.
that's power
You might also need to
management.
punch it to 6.
Yep, because we're currently at 4.
Currently at 4. Captain, you want to punch it to 6?
You literally can't. We have 4 power right now.
It's only going to take 2 more. You're already at 4. You just need 2 more.
Oh, okay,
I'll let
okay.
you pump up 2.
Oh yeah, because we're already at.
Yeah, so if that's so we can do that then.
All right,
Let's go.
punch it to 6.
Okay.
Let's give a check over there.
Yeah, we don't have
Just
any more
gonna-
momentum, right?
Just
No.
gonna make this happen.
Of course we don't.
Oh, God.
So I rolled. I got 1. It's a 0.
Still 0. Remember, your complication range is different, though.
Yeah, it's a 19. So.
It's an 8.
Do you want me to give him threat to buy that off? It's 2 threat.
2 threat.
I mean, it's basically the same thing. It's just deferring.
Yeah, I mean, it's just.
Yeah, I mean, he
Just
can
let it
even turn
happen.
around and spend it right
Just let it
now.
happen.
So, yeah, let's see what happens.
Okay.
You're just letting the complication happen? Complication's happening.
Yeah.
Complications happen.
So
Same as
Anomalies
anomalies.
now!
Yeah.
There is a shudder across the ship. The inertial dampeners struggle to keep up with the shear. Shifting into warp with all the changes to the warp engine would cause a significant amount of stress on the ship itself right now. So even though you're able to push it to 6, there's a significant amount of shear. And with that complication, you get a call from engineering. Hey, Commander.
What's up?
What just happened? Everything all right up there?
Is everything all right down there?
Not so much. Whatever
What's
just
happening?
happened loosened some of the bulkheads. We're getting some leaks.
All right. Is
You
there
okay
is there
up
anything
there?
that we can do? Is there anything we can do to keep you safe right now?
You know what? Don't know. Yeah, I'm an engineer. Okay.
What
see?
what can I tell from internal sensors?
There is a leak. The inertial dampeners loosen up some of the plating that was installed. That shake just loosened up that plating. So you are seeing a leak of that residual delta radiation that's entering into the engineering department where they are at this point.
Can I tell if there's anything that can be done?
From where you are, there's potentially you could try to divert some power into some of the active shielding that you guys have developed to kind of reinforce that. But that physical plating is out of position and causing.
Okay,
radiation.
so the rest of the so what's the radiation situation with regards to the rest of the ship? Like if I divert power from some of the shielding up towards the front, is that gonna?
There hasn't been a massive leak of delta radiation, so most of the ship is going to be fine.
So basically, if we can concentrate shielding further aft and just really lock down that engineering
Potentially,
section.
yes. It is going to take some more power, though.
Hey, when can I spend determination points?
When it matches a value. If something happens that matches a value, you can spend
Or
Okay.
if it's mission critical.
Or it's mission critical.
Do I have since I've been monitoring the leaks and everything, do I have a radiation clear pathway to get to the second sick bay?
To get the second sick bay? Yes.
Okay. How many medical, how big is my med team there in sick bay?
In the second sick bay or
Well, how many? Because I assume that we only have the EMH.
You just
there,
had the
but-
EMH in the second.
So how many do I have with me there in the prep?
You have a bunch. You are well stocked. Just in
Okay.
case.
I want to take 3 of them. I just
Okay.
pick them at random and come with me, and we're heading to.
Secondary
Goodness.
question: because we had prepped that secondary sick bay, did we leave them a corridor from engineering to that secondary sick bay?
A corridor with everything in place.
So the leak is in engineering. Would they be able to make a run for it?
They would still be exposed. It's not like it's going to be they're going to walk through a door.
But they won't be sitting there in the leak.
Yes.
So then I order them to leave engineering and get the hell to sick bay.
Got it. All right. Okay.
We'll
You
meet
got it,
them down
Commander. We'll-
Get out.
Okay. We're going. We're going.
So you said we lost 1 power to do the
Yeah.
shield
Well, let's
boost?
actually do a check to see how well it works. Let's.
And we should have 1 momentum if we don't. Because
Did
my
we
check
get
was a
back?
0.
Yeah. Yeah.
She
we'll
generated
do it.
1.
So-
Yeah.
So let's do daring and engineering check to see if it's still in place.
All right.
Daring and engineering to see if that shielding.
So, sorry, just to go back to the determination thing. If I have a talent that says I can spend determination.
It still has to meet
Okay.
the rules. Yeah.
Okay. I think I might be able to, but I gotta wait till my turn.
It modifies the way that you
Alright.
can.
Yeah. Well, let's see what this roll is.
Okay.
So daring and
Daring and
engineering.
engineering. Difficulty is 1,
That's-
so
It's 1.
it's 1. Okay. You're able to adjust it. It does cost you 1 power to make that adjustment.
All right.
What are you trying to do there, Captain?
I have Spirit Discovery, which is spend 1 determination, add 3
That's-
momentum.
That was
The
what I
same
was
what
trying
he
to
was
do,
just
yeah.
looking
Right.
at. You guys have
Uh,
basically identical characters.
No, that's not true.
Value is going to be
They're
different.
really-
It's similar. But I was like, maybe don't hesitate as a value.
Mm,
Mm.
I don't think right. I don't think right now. I don't think right
Okay.
now is the right time for it.
Hurry up.
Okay, you guys are flying at warp 6. Drop out whenever you're ready, Captain.
We have a certain location we need to get to.
Right now it is.
Right.
Uh,
All right.
we won't be able to go back to warp. Well, okay. So when we
You're
come
going
back
to be
out of
doing
warp,
checks immediately. It's going to be check, 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 check to see how much power you can get if the Jem'Hadar are there.
Oh, okay.
So you're going to have to regenerate power as fast as possible.
Okay.
also, did that count as an engineering task? What I just did?
Sure.
Okay, then that means I get 1 point of power off that.
Cool.
There you go.
Yeah, nice.
We got 2.
I'll take us out.
Okay.
I'll command.
Dropping out of warp, you immediately drop out to warp. Morganth, you got to make the fire. Firing
Fire
torpedoes. Difficulty is
torpedoes.
3.
Fire modified torpedoes.
Buy dice.
We got 1.
You get a ship assist as well.
Cool.
What are we looking at?
This is going to be firing a weapon, so the ship assist is going to be weapons and security.
Nice.
And this is
actually
firing a weapon.
control.
Control and security, yeah.
Come on.
Wait. That might.
No.
What's weapons is 10? Oh,
No,
just. Yep. Okay.
I mean, that's a high. That would
Yeah.
be tough.
yeah.
I did not. The ship did not. You were on your own.
2 successes.
Okay, you're able to fire a salvo, but there's malfunction in one of the torpedoes, and it does not transmit the warp signature that it's supposed to. Stian, I need to make you a sensor check, please.
Yep. And that's with a ship assist as well, with sensors and security, I believe.
Yep, sensors and science, actually.
Oh, well, according to I'm just looking at.
Oh, I'm
the
sorry, no, sensors and security.
Yes, what
Sensors and security.
this is what the sheet said.
Yeah, sensors and security for the ship assist.
Never mind.
You're going to be reason and science, I believe.
Yep.
Sensor and security, ship assist. Hey, ship assist.
Oh, that would be 2 successes for me. 2 successes for me.
2 successes. The difficulty is standard 3, but we're making this 2 because we're not in combat at this point. So you're just
And
trying to
there was
see-
nothing in the ship, is that right? Huh? Ships
No.
did not help.
Nah.
Okay, at this point, you
done.
don't see anything on the sensors. Power regeneration.
All right. So this is difficulty 2. We got no momentum. Awesome.
Remember, the goal is to get to 7.
So I need 5. Do I get a ship assist?
Yeah, for regenerating power. Sure.
This is this. Okay, actually, this doesn't show a ship assist.
Actually, no. Power management doesn't. I thought it did. Yep.
Can we just break the rules though?
Okay.
Is it a rule?
No, so here's the thing.
guideline.
If I succeed
Is it
at
even a
all, I'm going to get one
guideline?
extra
It's just the
point.
absence.
Because I have a power systems focus, it's totally possible that I can get more. Do we want to give him a threat so I can at least have one more die?
Tell you what. I'll let you get an assist if you send an engineer back in engineering.
That's really...
We can try to send someone back in there. What's the radiation situation down there? Is that shielding holding right now?
Oh no, it's still leaking. Oh, you're
Even
talking
with
about that? Yeah.
Because we put in the extra
Yeah, that's
shielding.
right. You got them a little bit safer in there. They're going to be exposed. Exposure is
Like if there's just already radiation in there.
yeah.
Let's try it once without them.
Okay.
But should I give him a threat to get one more die?
I think that's your call.
I would like to give you one more threat.
Got it.
I'm not going to tell you how to live your life.
All right. This is control and engineering.
I'm also heading down there with my team, so I'll be able to treat them very soon if that's.
Yeah.
Oh. What you got?
Well, I got 4
And
into complication.
okay. Okay.
Difficulties 2. So does that mean that I only get 2 power over that?
Power management. When you succeed at it, you get 1 power. You can get additional power by spending momentum. Every momentum you spend gives you an additional power.
Okay, so basically I've earned 2 momentum, so I get 1 already.
1 already
Plus, because I succeeded, that's 1 because of my talent.
because of your talent. That's another one. So there's 2. And you have 2 momentum. You could spend both of those immediately and get 4.
Or I could spend them to get rid of that complication.
I will say, remember the
I-
torpedo didn't work.
Yeah, we got to get out of here.
All right, we'll
Yeah,
take
I
the
just
complication,
really-
and that gets us to
Complications
4,
are
which
nearly
gets us to
as bad as we
6.
tend to-
That'll give you 6.
Yeah.
How did that get you to 6 again? Oh, the
Because
total
we
power
already
to
had
6.
2.
Total power, yeah.
Total power to
And
6.
like,
Right,
when we
two.
came out of warp before, so when we came out of warp, that power that we'd spent to go to warp just went away, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
gone. No,
okay.
This is gone. And you took away the power for adjusting the shielding done in engineering. And
Yes.
Okay.
That went away, and then I
So you're
took it
still
back
1
because of
short
my-
of getting to warp 7 at this point.
so I can only get us to 6.
Can we still send in the engineering officer to?
Can I send someone back in and roll that 1?
We'll do another check because you guys need to get to 7. That's your goal, is getting to 7. Let's do another sensor sweep.
God, so
Okay, so it's 4 back.
I will continue to sit in the command chair and look pensive.
But we need a ship assist for sensors and.
Yeah, but that, I mean, the character.
Do you physically do the roll?
Yeah, but I have to do it like
I
this.
got 2
Okay.
successes, and then plus the ship. Come on,
Plus ship.
Farts.
Fucking darn shit.
Nothing?
That die clearly enjoys being on 17. Stop rolling that
I
die.
rolled a different die. Oh, different die.
This is the fates.
It looks like the delta radiation is causing some interference. You're not able to get anything. There's still some ambient delta radiation in the ship that's interfering with the sensors. So you're not able to
Awesome.
Let's do another power management.
Alrighty. Cool. I'm gonna take one more threat. Yeah, it's actually 1. Are you kidding me?
What do you got?
Just 2 and a complication.
We only need 1.
Well,
Okay.
no, it's a difficulty 2,
Right.
so we get 1 plus I succeeded, so that's another 1, so that puts us up to 8 power, so we have enough to go.
Okay.
Did we
But
get?
there's a complication.
And then there's another complication.
We didn't get any momentum off of that either, right?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
Captain Nelson turns to you. Captain, we're getting ships approaching on sensors.
Gotta go.
Do we have reading?
Or
They appear to be Jim'Hadar battle cruisers.
the only thing out
Warp back to
there.
7.
Warp 7. Here we go. Roll it up.
2.
2, so that gives you 2 momentum.
Yay!
It's going to cost you 7 power.
Okay.
All right, you're going to need to fly it out. At this point, Delaran and the other engineer have made it to the secondary sickbay. You meet them in there. There's definitely some delta exposure in there. They're looking a little bit weak at this point, and you can actually see some scarring on Delaran's face.
Okay. We're going to administer another dose of meds and start any rounds of cellular regeneration to try and undo some of the damage.
Give me a first aid check.
Okay. Where's my first aid? There you go. Awesome. Okay. What's my difficulty on
It
this?
should be on there.
Okay. Difficulty 1. Okay, cool. Cool. So that's 2 successes.
Okay.
So I get 1 momentum.
1 momentum for that health. You're going to need that. Yeah, you administer that. You do seem to be stabilizing, though. The bad thing about delta radiation is it leaves scars, but you seem to be able to stabilize them fair enough right now, but you probably want to put them in those cellular regeneration.
Yeah, absolutely.
As soon as possible. You guys are flying at warp 7. Captain, when you want to drop out, anything you want to do before you drop?
Can I regen power again?
Uh,
I mean, I'm basically going to be continuously regenerating towers many times as you'll let me.
yes, I would rather let you do it after you drop out.
Okay.
So we're gonna cruise for a second. Then we gotta drop out, fire the torpedoes again.
And then hit it. Punch it
Okay.
again.
So I'll just let us roll out for a while.
Okay.
Whatever feels appropriate. This was not really laid out as a mission. Yeah,
I didn't expect this many difficulties. So.
that's fine. We're gonna drop out,
Okay.
fire torpedoes.
Our torpedoes.
I'd like to buy a dice.
Okay.
Ship assist.
And the ship assist.
Yeah, the ship did good. Fine.
Okay, 3 successes.
All right.
So you got 1 as well?
Was that 3 for you?
I got 2 successes.
Right,
So
Okay,
you got
all right. So you're successful this time. The torpedoes launch, and you do register that they are broadcasting those fake warp signatures. Power. How much power do you have right now?
1. We're real screwed.
You're fine. You're fine.
We're really
Everything's fine.
screwed. Mark,
Everything's
we're
fine.
real screwed.
You're fine. You're fine.
Everything's
No, we're
pretty
very,
awesome.
very screwed. Especially because that was.
Oh,
That
you
was a great roll.
I have power systems, so that's 2.
All right. You got your 1. You can burn momentum to get extra stuff.
No, it's difficulty 2, right?
Oh, difficulties too, right?
Yeah, so
Oh.
I got 1 and then I got 1 because I succeeded. So
yeah, but
that's
you
2.
because of power management, you can burn momentum to get additional power.
No, I'm saying I got no momentum out
Oh,
of
you
that. Well, we had
have momentum.
Okay, yes.
Yeah,
so
I
then
got
we
us
get 3.
momentum.
Yes.
Yes, so we
Yeah.
get 3 power. Okay.
Yeah.
You moved that one before
Stay
I saw
on.
it.
Sensors.
My bad.
Sensor check.
It's okay. I took care of
And there's
things.
a ship assist
2
on the
successes
sensor
for
check.
me.
Oh yeah. Yeah, ship succeed too. So that's
Okay.
3
That's the fawn sting on the.
3 successes.
We're getting the hang of it. It's a new ship. We're getting like.
So what was the difficulty?
Difficulty is 3. Or no, I said 2 on
Two,
this one.
so
2,
we got
so
1.
give yourself a momentum on that one.
Yes.
Nothing on sensors.
I don't
at
see
this
anything on
point.
sensors.
Nothing on this. All right, keep up that power.
Sorry, I just saw your last focus.
No.
That was the best focus ever, honestly. All right,
Sorry, what were we doing? We're
power
doing power
generation.
again?
Yep.
All right.
Oh, we should be at like yellow alert right now. By the way.
We super duper should.
Yeah, you should.
We were at
All
red
right.
for a second.
We were?
Yeah, but now we're back at yellow.
Oh,
All right.
well, yeah.
Oh, that is so much better.
Yeah, look at
Okay. What is it? Engineering and control. So that's 15. So that's 3, 4.
6.
Yeah, it's
But you got 4 here, and you
No.
you did math.
no. This is a total of 4. Difficulty 2. So we now get 2 momentum.
Yes.
So I succeeded. That's 1.
Power management.
Is the first one? So the first one's a gimme as well. So like
Sorry,
if I normally if I succeed, there's 1.
It's just 1, yeah.
Okay, so that's 1, and then because my talent, that's 2.
2.
She also rolled a 1. Does
3,
that make a difference?
and 4. No, that's what got me to 4.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So that's still only 4.
All right.
Okay.
That gives us up to 8, which means
I really, really miss my extra reactor, is what I'm saying.
That gets you up to 8.
3.
Yep.
So that gets us to 8. So we can punch it to warp 8, which I highly recommend since they saw us at the last stop.
Give me a sensor sweep, Dion.
You got it. Sweeping sensors.
Oh my
how
god!
about 0 and a complication.
Oh, and I did not succeed either.
That's a 19 and a 20. And an
That's a-
18.
That means the
is
sensors don't
cool.
go. The
Wow, these
sensors
sensors-
don't work.
Wow. The,
Because I
the
found
delta
you the last
radiation
time.
is really having a bad effect
Yeah.
on those sensors at this point.
These things were not meant to read through delta radiation.
You ready to punch it?
Yeah, do we have one momentum?
Nope, we got nothing.
We got nothing, and there's a complication hanging out.
And I also can't help.
Are we going to 8?
If I buy one, I can re-roll one. So
Yeah,
then
what
I
speed,
always
Captain?
have, and I can only fail.
Can
at
you give a
16.
threat?
No,
Does it-
it,
oh,
doesn't,
it
it only
We were
counts
supposed
if
to
I
go
buy the
work back to
momentum.
7 from here too.
7 was the goal.
Oh, hey.
Minimum 7. We have enough
successes?
power for 8.
Yeah.
We can do it.
So that's going to give you 3 momentum.
Okay.
And then do we want to go to 8?
Yeah.
All right, let's do
Oh
it.
no, 7. We want to go to work factor 7.
You want to go 7?
That was our goal, right?
That was the goal of 7, yeah.
Yeah,
What's
but
the
we could
minimum
just go 8
recommendation?
because we had that complication and we've got another complication hanging.
Okay. All right, let's do it.
I would like to just-
Complication with combination of threat. Once you punch it up to warp 7, suddenly the ship drops out of warp. The engine falls offline.
Oh,
Well, that's complicated.
That's a complication.
Well, at least it's not emitting delta radiation.
Oh, but it is. Well,
It's all
there's
fine.
still lingering. There's still lingering radiation. So that senior engineering staff, except for the 2 that are already in that sick bay,
Mm-hmm.
I want them all to report to that secondary sick bay, and we're all getting inoculated and taking turns.
Okay.
We're limiting exposure.
This is like Chernobyl.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
How many are you sending my way?
Let's say I'm sending you a dozen.
Okay.
We're not all going in at once. It's going to
okay.
be 2 at a time.
Okay.
Um,
You burn that power in the attempt to go to warp.
Yeah.
So you have 0 power right now.
Mhm.
Okay.
No, we
And
have
you said that power region works better if there's someone in engineering, right?
Yeah, I will let you have an extra assist with somebody in engineering.
so I've got 3 of my guys down with me right now. I'm going to send for another 3.
Okay. Everybody's heading down. There's a rush down into the secondary engineering, or secondary sick
Engineering
bay.
sick bay.
Engineering is rushing down as well. Give me a sensor sweep, Dion.
Is there anything we can do to flush some of the excess radiation?
That's more like 2 successes.
2 successes. You think ship?
No.
No. Nothing right now. Let's do power generation. You're gonna send somebody rushing down there.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's already somebody rushing down. We're gonna say they're already in position.
I'm gonna. I'm gonna buy more.
Okay.
Okay. So I've got an assist. I've got an extra die. I've got 2 extra die. Let's do it. And it's control and engineering. All right. That's much better. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for me.
1 from your assist.
All right, so that's 5. All right, 1 for success, 1 for power talent, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's kill them all. So that's 7.
7.
All right, that gets us back to 8.
That gets you back to 7, or makes you back to 8.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. You get a call in your comms like, "Told you we have this, Commander. Told you we got this."
Hey, I told you to rest.
What needs to be
He's in
done?
engineering at this point.
Huh? Do what?
That was Delaran in engineering.
He was
Told
not
you.
in engineering.
He was
He's
in
still
engineering.
In his bed. That
He was in engineering.
that
He
was a
was-
bastard. No,
Yes.
I wouldn't have allowed him to go. It was
You
someone
weren't
else.
there.
Yeah. Oh, that.
I was. I said I was going down there.
He's in engineering.
He was. That's the reason he got in there so fast.
All right. What needs
I'm
to be
yelling
done?
at him down
What
the
needs to be
corridor. I
done to
told
get the
you
engine
to rest.
going?
Huh?
What needs to be done to get the engines going?
How much power do you have right now?
We have 8.
You have 8 right now. Let's do a check. Let's do a daring and engineering check to jumpstart the engines back online. Stian, while you're doing that, you're going to roll sensors.
Am I rolling that?
You're going to roll that.
Okay. Am I getting an assist from
You're gonna get an
my
assist from
idiot
Delran.
who's down there?
Hey,
Two successes.
I got
Oh,
one.
That's real bad.
Three successes.
What did you say it was?
Daring and engineering. What you got?
0, because I dropped my daring by 1 point and I just rolled one above what I needed.
Well, Delaran rolled a 1.
That doesn't matter.
Well,
If I don't succeed, his assist doesn't count.
That's true.
Why don't you assist him instead?
You know, that would have made more sense because he's on the ground there, but that's not what we just rolled.
No. Let's start over.
No. Okay, no.
And then we had 3 on the sensors.
Yeah.
Long range sensors show that there are warp signatures dropping out at distance.
Full momentum though, we got right.
No.
No.
Wasn't
Nada.
it difficulty
Yeah, for
2?
sensors we got.
Oh, for sensors, what did he get?
Because he said it's 2, and we got 3 successes.
You got
Yeah,
one
so he
for
gets one.
your sensors.
Cool.
All right. Hey, Commander, it's all right. It's okay. We can make this work.
Are you okay?
You know what? We'll be fine. Let's just
Let's do it.
let's just make it work. All
Let's do
right.
the thing.
We're gonna do this. But hey, look, I'm here.
Yeah, let's do it. Come on.
Let's do it. All right. You got a panel there. Let's just let's-
Yep.
Yep.
So am I still taking lead on this, or is he?
You're assisting.
I'm assisting.
You're assisting.
Assuming you want me to burn one of these, right?
Yeah, give him one more die.
Okay.
That's a success. For me.
Success. I'm glad because you needed it. There's a moment later, and Tashek, you immediately feel a change in the ship. It feels like it's just come alive. It feels like you can pilot it again. Looks like
Okay,
warp engine.
I'm on warp.
Whoa!
There's no momentum left, right?
What?
No.
Cool.
Okay. Is this Starship Tactics or
Evasive action.
Escape and Avoidance? Haha.
I'll let you have that. Sure.
So 3.
3 successes. Yep. So that's 3 momentum.
All right. And are we going to 7 or 8?
Captain.
Still just 1 7?
All right. So heading out warp 7.
I want to hang on to that one. Just in case.
I mean, I'm going to
Um,
be regenerating power as soon as I can.
You jet off in a random course. Long range sensors do pick up those warp signatures dropping out, but you do leave them behind at this point. And yeah, that was the goal. You completed the goal. You have Delaran down in engineering.
Delaran, get out of there, get back to sick.
Specialist,
bay,
get your
stay
ass
there.
back in here. I'm sending someone else to relieve you.
There's no response on comms.
Computer, what's the location on Delaran?
Delaran is in engineering.
Is he conscious?
Negative.
Is
All right,
it safe to transport?
I'm taking a dose of anti-radiation, and I'm going in to drag him out of there.
Okay. All right. You dive in. Delaran's on the ground.
Sorry, everybody. Wow.
Delaran's on the ground. That's a delta radiation.
Yeah.
All the way up to the
Oh,
bridge.
man.
He's on the ground. You do drag him out of there, but he is unconscious. Vitals are weak at this point.
Immediately. But what first aid to stabilize?
Yeah, first aid, stabilize.
Okay.
We're going to increase the difficulty because of the delta radiation.
Okay. Let me spend momentum
Yep.
for a die. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5 successes.
Get you some momentum off of that there.
How
there.
many?
2, I believe. Is that difficulty 3?
Yeah, difficult. It should have been. Did you only increase the difficulty by 1?
Yeah.
Then it just would have been difficulty 2, so I get 3
3.
momentum.
Okay. You're able to stabilize, but you need to get him in some serious help at this point. But
Yeah.
he is stable, as stable as you can be with. delta
Kate, I don't
radiation.
need to tell you that you're locking him down, right?
He's out like a light. He's not going anywhere.
Thank you, sir.
So Delaran is in sick bay. The Mazu is in the Gamma Quadrant. Escaped, potentially, the Jim Hadar. And on that note, we're going to end the episode.
Yeesh. And that's this season. See you next season.
See you next season. See you in 3 months, y'all.
Welcome to the Gamma Quadrant.
Yeah, welcome to the Gamma Quadrant.
Hope you
y'all.
survived the experience.
Almost didn't. But that's it. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Welcome back to Constellation, and welcome to the new Mazu, the 2904A. Thanks for hanging out with everybody. And y'all, I'm actually really glad to see you guys. I've missed you over the past 3 months.
Thank
So
you.
much.
And I've actually missed playing Star Trek. I didn't realize how much I liked Star Trek until I stopped playing Star Trek. Oh, who am I kidding? I always knew.
You knew.
I did. I really did know. Anyways, we're going to get out of here and we'll see what happens next week in the voyage of the USS Mazu. To all of you out there, thanks for hanging out with us. To all of you, thanks for playing again.
Thank you.
We'll see you in a week. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other.
It's the week after that.